Welcome to Champagne Football Lemonade Banter. This season is brought to you by the Lightweight Athletic Club.
Whatever you're watching us on, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
That's a full week of like feeling sorry for yourself. Like, I'm not good, man.
We had Jordi Gomez was at I think he was at a Bucks weekend as well, and he came. I think it was domestic anyway, and so he comes to Byron, gets there on the second day, halfway through it, he's wrecked. He like head's still gone. The boy's like, "Oh, you need to down these drinks to catch up," so he starts smashing them, and he's already wrecked. An hour later, what the fuck's Jordi? So he's in the bed, smashed. Like, no worries, let him be. We'll get him out tonight. And then it gets to 7 o'clock at night, and we're like, Jordi's still sparkling. Eventually, he gets up, showers and all that. And then about 20 minutes later, where's Jordi? I don't know. We're in a house, so we go downstairs in one of these wee rooms, and Jordi's lying sleeping again. Try to wake him up when he got up. So then we go out, come back in at 4 a.m. He's still lying there sleeping, and then we wake him up. He's like, right, boys, I'm up. I'm ready to go. I'm like, mate, you just 4 a.m, mate. The thing's done, man. And then like we all went to bed, woke up. He was still sleeping in the morning. Then we got up, and he's like, right, we're away. I was like, that was the worst end of the season, mate, for you ever. He just literally came, had 2 pints, and went to sleep. That was it, man.
That's a shame, man.
Brilliant. What's the crack then? Let's get stuck into the games.
The games from NPL 1 we'll start with. Let's start with, for me, the shock of the round. Sydney United lost 3-0 at home to Central Coast Mariners.
Well, just saying, weren't we? Like, Sydney United were pretty poor.
Yeah, they were.
Central Coast, to be fair, looked to have played well as well. They've got, we all know the academy teams, when they play well, they're going to hurt you, but at home, man, I shouldn't be losing, 3-0? 3-0? 2-0? 3-0? Shouldn't be losing 3-0, should you?
You played them?
Yeah, we played them a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe the surface helped them at Sydney United because they like to play good football. You know, they're getting in between the lines and stuff. But, yeah, I don't know. Against us, maybe we just pressed them a bit higher where it looked like they had a bit more space and time. But, yeah, 3-0 was pretty rough.
Helps when you have someone like Michi scoring screamers as well.
What was the score when you played them?
4-1?
4-1, yeah.
I can't remember that game. That was that?
Up in Central Coast.
Central Coast.
Oh, okay. Oh, actually, I do remember that game. Oh, your first goal, you just sort of jogged through, have they? Nobody tackled you?
Yeah, fair enough.
No, genuinely, I remember, obviously.
You picked up the ball on the right, I think.
I remember the defenders all started parting. I'm like, why is no one tackling him? Unless it was just unbelievable drops to the shoulder that I couldn't see. But
That's it.
it looked too easy from a defensive standpoint.
Oh, look, you know, sometimes they work for you, sometimes you get crunched. So. Yeah.
Well, Robbie Speranza sent me a lot of videos of you getting crunched, mate. I've got a backlog of them. So on Sydney United, though, I mean, probably you boys might have played with a few of the players who are there. Obviously, been around NPL for a while. What do you think is going on there? Because I've got, like, before the season, I'm like, fuck, they are stacked. They are looking good. Obviously, Chaz worked with Anti-Rich at Sydney FC Women. Decent gaffer. This year, obviously, Anti's going to be... He's a women's coach at Sydney FC. He does Sydney United and he works full time at Matraville. Is it Matraville Sports? Cool. So it's effectively 3 coaching gigs, which is fucking hard, man. It's a lot of football players to try and manage. I don't know what the crack is.
Oh, he used to do that when he was at Olympic as well. He still
and they won the comp. Yeah, because that's what, like, Ante was, in terms of a manager, and he was brilliant, I thought, like, in terms of the way he spoke to Gerard before games and stuff. So I look at him as obviously being a good coach, and then you've got a great roster of players. So
a roster?
Like, roster. So
that's a good Scottish word, that.
He did 3 in a row with the women's team as well, didn't he?
They're not doing great, I don't think.
Yeah, not doing well this year.
Not this year.
Yeah, this year.
They are missing, you know, Muzz hasn't been playing.
Trist is out.
Yeah, so they do
got a
have
lot of injuries.
some major
Richie Dark
players
has
through
been
the...
playing.
And Telmy's obviously just got married as well.
Yeah,
so missing some big players.
But with a squad, and it's going to happen to every squad is going to get depleted at some point. Obviously, it's happened to them at the start of the year. But with the squad depth they've got, I reckon almost anyone in the top 6 of NPL would take almost everyone in their first 18 in their squad. I mean, they're such a strong team. Even you boys, you look at Danny Choi coming off the bench. Like, that's teams who tend to finish top 2, top 3 because you've got that depth coming off the bench. So I don't know, man. I think they're obviously playing Spirit this weekend, so I hope they get pumped. But but after that, I don't want to say it, but Big Ante could be in trouble because Sydney United fans aren't notoriously patient with. Like seen last year with Spider, I think it was around the same time, 6-7 games. He was under serious pressure, and to be fair to him, he turned that around.
Sort of bounced back.
You can do it, but it's a bit. You can't. It's a big ask to go and win.
No, definitely.
Especially where the league is this year. It's so chaotic. Like anyone can beat anyone. You see, Central Coast were rock bottom. I was not expecting them to even get a win in the next few games, and just pumped Sydney United away from home 3-0.
Yeah.
And it looked from a defensive point of view, it was poor. Like the first goal was a free header.
Aye.
There's one player in the box.
Good finish, though. Great finish.
Yeah.
And then the second one, Adrian's just played a bad pass. They've capitalised, so it's not. It's kind of what's going on. Do you know what I mean? Like
For a club like Sydney United,
you expect them to be better.
Well organised.
As players, you do expect them to.
for sure.
100%. Well, it's interesting that they've got you this weekend.
We've got us this weekend, but I think the thing is, with the way the league is now, there's only you boys are on 10.
Yeah.
I think we're on 15 and 10, and it's like 9, 8, and then there's like 6 teams on the same point, so you could win 2.
Yeah. There's one or two games.
Then again, you don't want to get caught in that bit where then now you're chasing just to try and get back up.
Aye. Because you always go,
Try
next
and stay
game,
with the
next
pack.
game, and then if you know, you're like, oh fuck, it's round 13.
And then end of the season, you're like, man, if we won a few of these games,
Aye,
we'd
mate,
be
every
up
year
there.
that happens.
Yeah.
Remember that game 2-1 with 2 minutes to go, and you missed that chance.
Yeah.
And then, but every team says that. And then before you know it, that's the difference between making top 6, not making top 6.
That's what happened with Rockdale last year, just a few late goals and that's extra points every game.
100%.
Well, they're doing it this year. That's
Yeah,
the same thing, man. Like, and
Because if you look at Sydney United, obviously they've got 5 points from the first 5 games, so they're still within reasonable distances.
Yeah.
Now. So it's like
man, again, like I said,
it's so early.
you win 2. You probably need a run of 2 or 3 games in the bounce, and the whole league table looks.
Especially like Mars in the middle, he he sort of is the heart of your team. So when he comes back, I'm sure they'll be firing.
Aye, they will be. Aye. There's too much quality. I think even regardless of how they're set up defensively and all the rest of it, when you've got a lot of quality in the team,
Yeah.
as long as the boys all get on and all the rest of it, which I'm sure they do, they can easily go on a good run. But again, like we said, you need to do it fucking soon because they could get him back and then someone else gets injured.
Someone else,
and you're
yeah.
just in the same position anyway. Yeah. But anyway, Central Coast, fair play today, still at the bottom. Central Coast
are still bottom 4 points, but I mean now it's joint. So there's St George, both St George's, Western Sydney Wanderers, Sydney FC, Mount Druitt, and Central Coast all on 4 points.
Jesus.
Aye,
crazy.
tight.
Very tight. Next game we've got Spirit, Western Sydney Wanderers.
Good game, man.
It did look like a good game.
It was a good game, man. Wanderers come out fucking so horny, like flying,
It was,
like just 100 miles per hour, man. It was like couldn't you, even watching it, you're just like, what the fuck? Like it was chances. They scored. To be fair, it didn't show you on the highlights. They scored a corner. Oh, I don't know if it went direct for the corner. I couldn't really tell what happened where I was sitting, but it got disallowed.
They just said no. And
Did you
what
see that?
happened? You couldn't tell why he disallowed.
So the referee said for the fourth, he told us, he's disallowed it for, say the ball went out, but it was an in-swinger.
It was an in-swinger, yeah.
So obviously I'm like, aye, 100% mate. Aye, obviously mate. Sit down mate, shut up. No, so I don't know because when he whipped it in, there was a wee bit of a sort of coming together at the goalpost. I don't have a clue what happened, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So in that respect, Wanderers, in my opinion, probably should have had a goal at that point.
Yeah.
And that's by the game plan, it looked like let's just go hell for leather for 30 minutes, try and get a couple of goals and then see what happens. But they had Chris made a cracking 1-on-1 save. They scored that goal, got disallowed. Don't get me wrong, they were very vulnerable at that point in the back. So every time we went forward, we were having chances as well. But it was a point where I was like, this is a proper game here. Like we are in for a battle. Just typical, so fit, quick on transition. We weren't great the first 30 minutes defensively, but I think it was just surprised at the way they came out. And then they scored the boy up front for them, Abdul Rahman, I think his name was. Good player, very good player.
Yeah.
He looks, for a young boy, he looks definitely one to watch. He causes quite a lot of problems. And then we scored right for kickoff, which makes a massive difference. Like that. It's hard to really get if
you don't
establish
have time
himself.
to do anything.
Aye. And then I think that pissed the gaffer off a wee bit, and I think he was starting to get onto them a wee bit. And then Chris said he lost the ball in the lights. Again, can't comment on that, but he punched the ball effectively into his own goal.
Yeah.
And then a minute later, or 2 minutes later, he scored again. Yeah. So I think scoring right before half time, it's like, it makes a massive difference getting change. It was almost like, okay, half time, they're flying, but they've exhausted a lot of their energy there, and it's still level. And in the second half, to be honest, I thought we were fairly comfortable. At the time, it didn't feel comfortable because it was still quite nervy. But in hindsight, looking back, they didn't really have much chances. We had quite a few. Scored a great third goal and then got the win. But massive win. Wanderers away. Since I've been at Spirit, we've never won there, I don't think. And it's always hard.
It's always tough.
It's always tough place to go, man.
They're good, man. They train every day, so they got to be.
It's just that's it. They're well organised. They're so fit. They've got really good players. But I think if you can withstand that first sort of 30, 40 minutes, you give yourself a right good chance. But they could have easily been 3 or 4-0 up in 15 minutes.
But I think, as you said there, like, see scoring goals, conceding right after you score.
It knocks the wind out you.
Yeah.
I think the second one especially for
you
them.
get to here, and then it's just like, fuck, we need to go
Really
again.
back to the start.
And then
Yeah,
you go,
100%.
and then it happens a second time, you're just like, surely not.
Yeah.
Like, that's tough. So it's
You look
good
at the
times
players
to
that they've
score.
lost from last year. Like they're all playing A-League.
I know, mate.
Yeah.
Overseas and stuff.
Well,
so-
last year they were absolutely flying, man.
Yeah, it was horrible. I think they beat us 3-0 there. I think.
They beat us like 5-1 or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, it was Sapsford and Nunes, and couldn't
Yeah,
get out, man.
exactly.
That was
Couldn't
actually a
get
shame.
near
But
Yeah,
Anthony,
Blair up front.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
he scored like 9 goals in 8 games or something
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
a
Yeah.
Where's it? Is he at Wanderers first team now? Is he somewhere else?
He's in Perth, isn't he?
Perth.
Oh, is he at Perth?
Yeah.
Well, Eunice's brother, actually, a shame he just came back for his ACL, and it was his second proper start, and done his ACL again, same leg.
Oh, no.
Terrible,
I
so
wanna say
shout out to
that.
him, such a shame, man. Just fucking heartbreaking. Have any of you had any bad injuries? I know you had a bad injury, didn't you?
Yeah, broke my ankle and a few things like that. But yeah, nothing bad. I don't want to say no and then yeah. But I've always had injuries. Like my main thing is my hamstrings.
Oh, that was going on,
constantly get little hamstring niggles and stuff like that. But the worst one would be the broken ankle. Had a full reconstruction on the ankle.
Did you get hamstring injuries a lot before the ankle, or they all came after the ankle?
Ooh, both. Yeah, it's just I think being more of a sprinter type player that I'm always susceptible to the little hamstrings.
Yep.
But it's something that I just constantly manage and constantly get treatment and look after myself and try and just stay injury free. But yeah, the ankle was probably the worst one.
How did you do the ankle?
It was a tackle. So,
Oh, okay.
The challenge came in from the side, ankle rolled inside, and tore the ligament that holds both the leg bones together. And then so from training, as it happened, I passed out 3 times. I passed out on the field, I walked off, I passed out standing against the fence, and then in the change room, passed out on the table. Like it was that bad.
horrendous.
Anyway, went straight to emergency. They did an X-ray and they're like, no, nothing's wrong with it.
On the X-ray?
You're totally fine. Yeah. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, so it's just obviously some bad challenge. So anyway, so
Mate, I
next
just
day,
passed out.
yeah. And anyway, so I'm like, all right, obviously, it might just be a bone bruising. So, all right, anyway, so next day, one of our cows got out into the next yard, and the next yard, the cows don't stay there long. Put it that way. And so I'm over the fence, hobbling with my ankle, trying to get this cow back, and like the pain was excruciating, but obviously bone bruising, didn't think it. Anyway, didn't get the cow back, get the MRI, and they're like, yeah, like broken bone, torn ligament, like you need a full reconstruction. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I made it worse trying to get my cow back or what.
So you done your ankle chasing a cow?
Yeah, probably, yeah, exactly.
You had bone bruising and I chased a cow and snapped it.
Yeah.
So do you think was it the actual X-ray that didn't show it, or was the guy who read the report?
I think it was the guy that just looked at the scans and didn't see it. But yeah, it was bad. I had a metal rod through both bones, like holding the ligament together. There was no weight bearing for 8 weeks or something.
Oh, that was rough,
yeah,
man.
it was horrible. Everyone has their injuries, but that was my story.
That's a nasty
thinking
one.
that it
Oh,
was-
you Jack, you had any bad injuries?
I've never really had anything bad, knock on wood. Last year I had a clean out my meniscus, just a little snip. But
Oh, that's right, I
wasn't
remember you
bad,
saying that,
Just
aye.
a couple of games, but nothing really serious.
That's good, mate. That's
Yeah.
lucky, very lucky.
Nice.
What we're on to next?
Just finishing up with yous.
Oh, we didn't have Kubu as well either, so a big result for
Yeah,
us.
so you're obviously 5 from 5. It's a good start to the year.
Where are you going? You're setting me up for something here. What is it?
Just asking, like, how do you think you'll fare? Let's look at the next 3 games. Do you think you'll?
Mate, honestly, it's every week. We're just saying that every game's brutally hard, man. Like Wanderers on paper, the bottom 3, bottom 4. That should be an easier game. You should win that. You've won the last. That was our hardest game.
Yeah.
I mean, so you just don't know. You look at Central Coast winning 3-0. Mountain Druitt picked up points. St George Saints have picked up. You just don't know. The league table positions doesn't say anything. So playing Sydney United this weekend to a 5th bottom or something. But
Yeah.
fucking,
Yeah, I
they've
know.
arguably the best
Yeah.
squad in the league.
It's like
Yeah.
anything can happen in
Aye.
any game. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like every game, and it's the most cliche thing ever, but it's like literally who we got this weekend. Let's prepare for that. Let's see how we go.
How you going?
As a positive, like we've got a bit more depth than last year. So like you've seen when Kubu came out, we had Aaron Bassett come in, scored, got an assist.
Yeah.
So like when you've got striker, we've scored 50. I think more positive. Obviously, winning games is what it's all about. We've scored 15 goals in 5 games, whereas last year I think we only scored 33 goals or 35 goals the whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And that killed us, like, not scoring goals. So
You've
we'll be able to
got
score goals.
The two boys up front.
But then Mike,
Because-
we've got Mikey available, who wasn't available for the
Yeah,
first till
he's a
round
good player.
20. He's a great player. And then we've still got Ollie Wiggin to come back as well, who's a good player. And then our midfield, our two centre midfielders are two completely different from what started last year, and they both can get goals. So having goals in the team changes everything. So when we're getting the ball, we're more inclined to try and get forward because you're trusting the people in front of you to get goals. Whereas opposed to last year, it wasn't really trust them, but you just think, how many chances are we going to get this game?
Yeah.
So you're trying to make every pass count. Whereas now it's like, get it forward, the boys will do a bit of magic.
They'll make it work.
Aye, and that creates positivity, creates confidence. So I think with that, we always feel like we're in the game. So when we're playing against an Apple or a Blacktown or the teams who in prior years are thinking, hopefully we can get a point, now we're thinking, well, we can score 2 or 3 here.
Yeah.
If you score 2 or 3 in a game, the
should
chances
win.
are you're going to get something from it.
Yeah.
So, like, it's positive, mate, but it's only 5 games in.
Yeah, fair. Manly, we just said last week, we said on here that Manly had obviously scored 5 goals in round 1 and hadn't scored again since.
Yeah.
And then back to
Another 5.
Cromer Park, another 5 goals, man.
Well, Van der Sag looked to be played really
Yeah,
well.
looked very good actually, to be fair. The 4th goal, or the 5th goal, sorry, I thought was a great goal from, who was it, Ben Coop?
Yeah.
Picked up the ball in his own half pretty much, touched it by a
Yeah,
defender,
yeah,
went
yeah.
a wee...
They've got quality as well. McCarthy's a good player.
He's a great player, yeah.
Van der Sag's obviously a good player.
Yeah.
Kikeris, he's not been playing, has he?
Jackson wasn't playing.
He was good last year, Kikeris. I don't know why he's not been playing.
Darcy Burgess as well scored.
Was he not on the bench, though?
Yeah, he came off the bench.
He came off the bench, aye.
It's always hard to go there on a
yeah.
Friday night as well.
Brutal,
After
mate.
work, going there.
Aaron 47
It's
minutes
tough.
last year.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah, Aaron
47.
47 minutes.
Was that a Friday night?
I'm like, that's how long.
We're
it
there
took
next
me.
Friday. I'm going to leave on Thursday. Just make sure get there early doors, man. No, that's a definite advantage for them. I mean, but fair play if
Yeah,
it gets you.
100%, yeah.
But I think in saying that, they've played 5 at Cromer Park this year and they've only got 6 points.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, why they play so many home games?
No, they've got 8 points because they've drawn 2.
okay, so they've won 2. Sorry, aye. I don't know, mate. I think 4 of them were scheduled, and I think 1 was a reverse. It had to get
Sydney
reversed.
FC.
Oh, okay.
Was they meant to play
Yeah,
Sydney
yeah,
FC?
yeah.
but it
So I
was
don't know
their
how.
home
I
game.
don't know if that's getting classed as Sydney FC's game or it's just been a reverse fixture that will play at Sydney FC next time. But that's a factor. But to be honest, this year home and away has not been that much of a factor for teams. Teams have been losing
Yeah,
home and
that's very
even
true.
us. Our 2 games we'd won both academy games at home, but we were crap. Away we were really good. So I don't think that's too much of a factor. I do think Central Coast is a bad one, and I think Manly away. The other 2 ones for me, the drive, like an on
Yeah,
40
yeah,
12. In
yeah.
fact, Central Coast is probably about the same.
Yeah,
Isn't
pretty
it?
much.
An on
Nicer
45.
drive though.
Nicer drive, aye, true.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I don't know how Manly will go. I mean, honestly, I genuinely think, even looking at the predictions, calling any game,
Aye, but having
I
a
still
disaster,
think, like,
man.
Central Coast, I can't see them being outside of bottom 4
Yeah.
over the course of the year. Mountain Druitt, I think, will honestly be similar, bottom 4. I think that's the worst I've seen them. I think they've been pretty good this year.
Yeah, they had been
looked
good
decent.
until that.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, there's people. One of my mates was at the game, and he said that Pedrinho was marked pretty tightly, and I think
Yeah,
he's been the
okay.
main signing for them. So it's one of those ones. If Mountain Druitt's plans to use him constantly, and you've just sniffed him out, you've not really got a plan B.
If
'Cause
you
you've
cut the supply to Gibbs.
Gibbs,
as
exactly.
well.
So it's like
Yeah,
Gibbs is the
yeah.
standard. I think, well, I've not got any
Yeah.
service, so
Yeah. So you've
That's
just
a-
told everyone how to play against Mount Druitt.
mate, I'm the main man.
They
There.
got the other boy in the wing. He's pretty quick as well, good with his feet. Is it,
Gibbs, right?
is it Yinka?
Yinka,
Yinka,
yeah.
He's a tight player as well.
I've not. Oh, I do know who you're talking about. I've not played against him, but I know who you're talking about. I think Mount Druitt will be good. They'll definitely win points, especially at Mountain Druitt.
Yeah.
I mean, you see me Rockdale, how good they were against them.
But
But
I think the positive for Mount Druitt is that they look better this time round in NPL 1 than
Aye,
they did
that's
last
last
year.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a
Yeah.
good thing as well.
they're
forward.
playing a bit more football as well. The
Yeah.
first time round, it was very much sit at the back and just lob it,
Yeah.
and we'll be
Yeah.
physical and try and win the
Looking
second
for
balls.
players, they have more younger players now than they
Aye,
did
aye.
before.
Yeah.
They had a few older players that
Aye. Just
On
try to
the
hang.
way
Some
out,
of the
yeah.
boys came up with NPL too. I think they made a
Yeah.
few signings this year. But I just think the league this year, I don't know if the league's. I think the league is stronger as a general average.
definitely.
There's
For
way
sure,
more
yeah.
competitive, and I think that year they were there the first time round. I don't think it was as competitive, and they'd probably more chance to get a higher position in the league. But I think this year, I think they'll struggle to get out of like that sort of. I don't want to say bottom 4. Maybe that's a bit random, but as we were saying off air, you've got that top pack. That's always just it's so
Yeah,
tight, first to
yeah.
7th.
Yeah.
Then you've got a massive gap.
Yep, then it's
Yeah.
like
Aye.
8 to 10.
Aye,
They'll
So-
randomly take points from them top
aye.
5.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
do
yeah.
it every
So I
time.
can't really see them giving it that top, that bottom. I think they'll be more in the conversation of relegation than they will be for playoffs. Put it that way.
Yeah. Move on to George beat
So-
Sutherland.
Oh, I see.
Do you know?
It's a fucking good result that, by the way.
Very good result.
Bay scored 2.
Bay scored twice, yep. I thought, did you see the first goal? That's Sunday Yona.
Yeah.
Done really well to create the opportunity.
Great finish,
But what's happened to Sutherland? Looked pretty good, and then obviously
He's copped a lot of goals. Was that 8 goals in 2
in
games?
the last 2 games they've conceded.
I think St George have been unlucky as well. I think they're actually a
Definitely.
really good side. So once they start stringing some results together, I think they'll be very tough to beat.
No, we
They
said that
put
last week.
Three past them, and I think they're unlucky against Marconi as well. I know
Rockdale as well.
I know Marconi had was it 1-1 against St
Marconi,
George?
yeah.
Yeah. So they're unlucky there, and
Rockdale won a lot with
tough.
2 minutes to go, so 5 minutes to go against Rockdale.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I agree with you. We said that last week. I reckon they'll. If again, I do think similar to some other teams, well, they've got a really strong first 11.
Yeah.
If like Troy Danaskos gets injured or Bay gets injured or like they lose a couple of those key players, they might not be as consistent. But if they can keep everyone fit, I think they'll be fine. I don't think it'll be for a team that's
because they have looked good. Like in all the games,
Aye,
as you
they
say,
have.
they've looked really good. So well done to them.
Sutherland Sharks, so I don't know. I don't know because I think Petratos, obviously one of the Petratos brothers done his ACL. The other one took off at half time, I believe, during that game. Don't know if he was injured or something happened, but they were 2
Big signings.
big signings.
Yeah.
Obviously, Nijic in goals was apparently I didn't see seen bits of the highlights, but people who went said he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So it could have been more than 3 now.
Yeah, he's a
so
good
I don't know, like if they don't keep that. Wong's other boy, he's a right good player.
Yeah.
Have you played Sharks this year?
No, not yet.
Nah. He's the winger. He scored. I think they scored 3 other goals. He's injured as well.
Right. Okay.
So you're looking at 2 Petratos brothers and Wong out. Big factor.
Yeah,
for
massive.
sure.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how they got this weekend. We've got next up you boys against St George. Tell us about the game, please.
It was tough. They had one of the corner lights was flickering all game. So
Epileptic
went to
fit.
bed at like 3 a.m, closed my eyes, I'm seeing
Seen
these
this light.
flickering lights. But no, they set up well. They gave us some problems.
I think
as
they're quite
well.
good, St George.
Yeah.
Play good footy,
We're happy to get away with 3 points and put that one behind us for sure.
On a small pitch as well.
How do you find playing at Penshurst?
It's hard.
Brutal, isn't it? It's a pure battle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't mind the service. It's just like it was really narrow and
Aye,
it felt
aye.
like it was.
Well, mate,
just,
the thing is, right, it's narrow, but see the size of the warm-up bit at the side?
yeah, I know.
There's like 25 metres of synthetic just sitting there.
Yeah,
You just warm up your guys. Oh, why don't you just bring the line out?
Like an extra third of the field. Is on the, off the
Mate,
sideline.
that's again looking at advantages from teams. That's an advantage, surely.
Yeah,
like especially if you play to the strength of that. But I think actually it might have helped you a wee bit because I think from playing against you boys and even watching some of the APA game, I think you're a little bit vulnerable in behind sometimes.
Yeah.
Whereas there isn't a ton of space in that pitch, and I think that did help you a wee bit.
Yeah.
But a good result. I think Penshurst is one of the hardest places to go to.
Yeah,
Had that
100%.
winger, the super quick.
Kamada.
Come on, yeah.
No, and him too, but on the other, this is Sparky.
Oh,
Mark McNulty?
Yeah.
Sparky,
not sure.
Aye. He missed a chance, didn't he?
Yeah,
3-1-1.
Rapid.
He went
He's
round
rapid,
the
though.
keeper.
He's a good player. He's not had a
Yeah.
ton of service. Against us, he didn't have a ton of service, but he's got quality. He's going to if he
Yeah.
gets service, he'll score goals. What about second goal? Dakota. Seen it. I think someone showing his reflection. I think, and then just stopped for a second. And then someone nicked in.
Danny Choi has that effect on you. Though. When you hear him coming, you freeze. And like I said, that first touch that he's controlled it into his space. And, yeah. Danny just
What a
doing
play to
what
have
he
off the
does.
bench, man.
He's a good player,
Yeah,
man.
he's a
so-
freak.
He's a brilliant player, man. Well, last year obviously missed the first half.
Yeah.
First half.
something like that. Yeah,
So I think when we played you boys at your stadium, he had just came back.
yeah.
But I'd never seen Danny Choi playing, and I was like, the boys
Double
were like,
step over.
this guy's fucking rapid, man.
Because that's him to score 3 games in a row.
Yeah,
I think he's got the most goals per minute.
Yeah, so only like one goal every 35 minutes or something.
Yeah,
like that.
he's good.
Came off the
Yeah.
bench 3 weeks in a row and scored,
Yeah.
man. Class, good result for you boys. Marconi and Olympic.
First goal for Marconi, right? There's been a lot of talk about the finish, but defending was honking.
Yeah, it was.
On the byline, 3 players round 10 goal, and he's managed to
Somehow
Yeah.
get out.
get through. I don't know if that's just like the game's just started, just
Yeah,
sort
I
of trying to
think
feel your way
for
into the game a
sure,
wee bit, and you're like, oh
yeah.
fuck, they've just scored.
Aye.
Yeah.
But it's killed you if you score that early.
Oh, yeah.
And you're 1-0 down, it's
What about Jack Gibson save for the header?
belter.
Oh, that was a great save.
Unbelievable, man.
Absolute belter, I say, aye. Good header as well.
That was a good
Put it
header.
away as well.
Aye, get away, aye.
Good hand.
Marconi's two games drawn. Is that 2 home games? Oh, drew you boys.
With us.
Yeah, the last
Two
two
was
games.
George.
St George,
George.
3 tries.
So
Yeah.
3 draws and 2 wins so far. They play Sydney FC next.
Aye, fancy.
They're always going to be up there, though. They're,
Of
you
course,
know,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
the
again, too much
world
quality.
coach, like Jimmy's doing awesome from the back.
Aye.
He's been a brick wall, but you've got their firepower. They're always going to hurt teams.
Aye.
So,
Yeah. Because that's at half time. I think it was 9 shots to 2 at half time in Marconi's favour. Olympic obviously winning 1-0.
Yeah.
Olympic are funny, aren't they? Like again, they just sort of didn't start very well, but then you look at the league table, I think they're third or fourth.
They're 5th, yeah.
They're 5th.
But I mean, they're joint 4th with Manly and Rockdale on 8 points.
It feels like they didn't have a great start to the year, but then they obviously got that win last week. You won 2 wins, beat Sharks, beat Damon, and or draw. Sorry, they're back in it again.
But I think that's one of them though that you get, obviously go and beat Sharks 5-1. You get a big lift. You go away to Marconi. Actually, was on the highlights. It was they've had 9 wins and 3 draws against Marconi in the past 12 games.
Well, they scudded Marconi like 4-0 last year there.
Yeah, so that's so in the last 12 games, 9 wins and 3 draws. So Marconi haven't beat them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, but Olympic, they could, if they finished top 6, you wouldn't think like they shouldn't be there. But if they finished outside top 6, the form the last few years, you'd think, oh well, that's how they've been going the last few years. So because their squad's changed a little bit, but they've always got quality.
Yeah, they do.
So I'm not sure how they're going to go.
The Apia at home beat Sydney FC 2-0. Looked quite comfortable.
Yeah, very.
It did in highlights, but I was listening to a podcast the other day. I was saying this, and said Sydney FC hit the bar, hit the post, and Apia were lucky to come away with points. I can't comment on it. I just seen highlights. For the highlights, it looked like 2 shots right down Kalich's throat, and then comfortable.
Yeah.
So I can't comment, but I don't know if it was just plain sailing as it looked like on the highlights. I don't know, but I mean, Apia clean sheet after losing so many goals
that's
is
exactly right.
crucial for them. Have you played Apia?
Yeah, we versed them last week.
Oh, the 4-3 game. That's right. That was a good game. Aye.
Yeah, because Apia have conceded 12 goals, and obviously in 4 games because they didn't concede at the weekend.
You
I saw the highlights, but I think they moved. They were playing 5 at the back. I think they might have
4
played 4 on the
Back to
weekend.
4, and then moved Cambiashi to 10.
Yeah.
But to be fair,
that's why.
if you remember Cambiashi at Manly as a 10, he was
Oh my god.
mate, I don't know if you remember,
He destroyed
we'd
us,
just been promoted, and I was like, there's this wee Japanese boy from Manly. He is ridiculous, man. He was getting the ball off, he beat his 2. It was him and Bruno.
Yeah, the striker.
Bruno Mendes.
He's a good player.
I'm like, man, they single-handedly ripped us up. I think they beat us 3-1 or something like that, but it was just Cambiashi.
That was grand final year.
Yeah, that was the year we beat him in the final. And they had Sim on the wing as well.
He was a weapon, and then they went to Apia. I'm like, I was playing Cambiashi fullback.
Yeah.
Oh, not really fullback, obviously. They're putting in a 5 this year, but
Last year, I think he was left fullback as well.
I was at fullback as well. Well, I mean, obviously he's still a good player.
Yeah.
I feel like as an attacking player, quality, good quality. So I mean, I don't know if he'll stay there. They've got.
I think last year they had a lot more sort of that attacking midfield players as well.
True. Aye.
So.
Well, I don't know if I don't know if did Rory Jordan play this game because he was injured against us.
No, I think he's still injured.
Still injured. He came off on as a sub against us, but I don't know if he's maybe got a niggle or something because he's obviously one of our main attacking players. I think Segreto apparently played very well as well. He'll be a good player for them for the rest of the season. But I don't know how Appy will go again.
Well, that's our first win at home and the first clean sheet.
And you'd expect to beat Sydney FC, to be honest with you, so I don't think it's a...
Sydney FC are decent, but we versed them in a trial game. I think they beat us.
We scored the 93rd minute against them. They were good against us as well.
These kids are getting taller. All right, so walking out, and I'm like, how are these kids, like 17, 18, they're like head and shoulders above me. And like,
you used to verse, like a couple of years ago, you used to verse the academy team, you used to know you could just bully them. Now you can't do
We spoke about it like that. When we played against them, like, I remember somebody said, but young boys just bully them. I'm like, mate, one, some of them are absolutely solid, and two, sometimes you can't get near them. They're too sharp. So they're quick, they're sharp, you can't even make a tackle on them, or they want the impact to get a free kick. They had done, I can't remember who number 9 was, but he was a big boy. He was like 6 foot, but he was like jacked, held the ball up. I think that's it was. I'm like, he's not like a wee boy. He's a proper. He's like a man up top. So you've got a boy. It's not like young academy side just bullying him. And then you've got that the full time element is so important, man. So important, man. So I don't know. We'll see how the Apia go, but I think just them getting off to a win with a clean sheet's a big step in the right direction.
And then last game, Rockdale, Wolves, 1 each.
Aye, again, only watched the highlights.
Yeah.
Rockdale again, let go.
Yeah.
Euro, we overhead kick.
Minute. It's a great finish, by the way.
Great finish, man. You missed a couple of chances right before that. Looked a bit more like standard finishes for Euro.
Two one-on-ones.
Was it the ball that Chalakian slipped in behind? That was nice.
Brilliant. They link up well though too.
The Wolves keeper looks good. That Ollie Yates.
Every game he's played pretty well. Yeah. And I think I don't know, but Wolves. I think they look decent.
Have you played Wolves?
Yeah, that'll be tough. We haven't versed them yet.
Because I just love the boy that Liai.
You keep talking about
Raphael Liai, the boy who plays wide, looks
he's
really
quality,
good, man. Yeah.
There was a bit of, did you see the very end of that game, the Rockdale game, when the referee blew the whistle?
No.
They were off. Was that when they were off?
No, it was a corner to Rockdale in the 95th minute. and the ball's been headed out to the back post. I don't know what Rockdale player had it, but he's got the ball at the edge of the 18. But put it this way, if it was Blacktown and the ball's landed here and Mitch has got the ball on his left foot at this point, you're just expecting him just to whip it. That mad whip you do. He's about to, I don't know if he's going to get it out of his feet and shoot at what he's going to do, but it's a fucking chance. And the ball's right on the edge of the yard box. And as he's to touch it, he blew the whistle.
It's one of those ones where it's come out and he's put his...
It's one of those ones like he can just say, well, time's up.
Yeah.
But it's I feel like it's a wee bit of like, I let it play, mate.
Exactly,
Let's see what happens. So I think that obviously they went mental, but no to say they'd have scored. But I think by the highlights, it looked like a fair result.
Yeah, because even I wrote here, Soros made a big save in the 92nd minute to keep the game level.
Yeah.
Was that the one shot from? No, what was that one? Oh, bottom corner.
Bottom corner.
Aye, that's right. Aye.
Interesting again, Rockdale. That's them. 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss so far, but still nothing really convincing.
Nah,
Yeah.
I don't know what's missing for them. I don't really know what. There's
Not a couple people leave, like Pelicanos.
Pelicanos and Bay left, but I mean, they've still got, they brought Medina Jara in, they brought Chris McStay in, still got Danzo in there, they've still got like pretty
got
much similar.
firepower.
Exactly. I don't think I shot that. And Gray Evans come in, who looks very good.
But I think that just sums the season up. Like no one, maybe apart from you guys, have been real convincing. Like I think it's just that competition this year that each game is a battle. Each game can go either way. So
which is good, man. Like I watching the results now. You used to see, if you've seen Blacktown versus Central Coast, you're like, no, we're going to finish. Did actually finish 4 or 5-1. But I mean, but now, like that Sydney United Central Coast game,
no one expected that.
couldn't believe it, man. Even Appy was 1-0 in Sydney FC. If Sydney FC had made it 1-1, I wouldn't have been like, oh my god, shocker. It's good. It makes it enjoyable. Way more enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's good.
It makes the predictions harder though.
Yeah, definitely.
The predictions are brutal.
Quick run through NPL Victoria.
Hold on, before we go forward. Team of the week. I can't not mention this. I honestly, I can't. I don't. Have you boys in the team of the week this week? Any of you boys in it?
Nah, Trav was, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he played well, yeah.
I can't deal with the team of the week. I think it is the biggest slot of shite ever. So every week I look at it. I can't comment for all the teams, obviously, because I don't see every game, but I talk to quite a lot of the players, message me stuff and talk about, not necessarily themselves, they'll say, for instance, say you message me, not that you have, but Mitch was unbelievable today, scored 3s, 2 assists, and it'll come up and there'll be a random player in there. And you're like, what the fuck, how's that happened? Sometimes I genuinely just think they go, fuck it, just pick him in. Just makes it easy for everybody else.
From what they show in the highlights, doesn't back up what they put in team of the week. I
think they use AI for the highlights.
Mate, I said this last week to somebody because it went to 3-minute highlights, which was done manually. You can tell.
Now it's like
9.5 minutes, and I'm watching
yeah.
a goalkeeper set up for a goal kick for 3 minutes.
That was against us against Apia, wasn't it?
Aye, and then he kicked. Oh, happens to a few games.
Your man in Henderson's kicked out the pitch.
There was one the other day where there was a red card, and I'm like, all right, waiting to see what happens, and it just cut straight to after the red card, and it was like you didn't see what happened, and they just played on. I was like, all right.
I happened to know a game against some of the last week in St George, and it's like. It cut to the goalkeeper lying on the floor. What a great save! I mean, fair play. I understand. It's obviously time not getting paid a lot of money probably to do it. Understandable. Try to use AI to help them, but
a few times your name's in the mix, and then they always.
That's. I mean,
go like,
you get biased to it. You're like, I'll just pick them. It's easier.
That's why Jack was in it like 15 times last year.
Oh, was it?
Oh my gosh.
They
just put his name, and then they started deciding the rest. Like each week was.
This
like,
is why you're not mentioning anything because you're in it every fucking week.
I say the same
If you look who writes it, it's like Jack O'Brien.
John O'Brien. Aye, well, I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
Right, well, we'll go on to NPL Victoria. Avondale won again. So, like yours, they've won 5 from 5. They beat St Albans Saints 4-1. And Preston Lions, South Melbourne.
Aye,
what a football match should be.
What a spectacle.
I expect it was a spectacle, but I watched it. It wasn't a great game.
No.
It wasn't a great game, but as in from an spectacle,
atmosphere, I think
amazing.
Watching the videos of it you saw, it was aggressive and it was like there was a lot to it. Maybe not quality wise.
Amazing, brilliant.
In terms of a scene, it looked unbelievable.
What an advertisement for Australian football.
And then obviously with both going into the championship.
There's another point as well. So I've heard a lot of people say this year because Apia aren't doing well. Again, take this with a pinch of salt. It's 5 games, but Apia, Apia, Wolves, Sydney United, Olympic. Not necessarily blowing anyone out the water considering the Australian Championship's coming up. A few people have said, I think they're holding them. I think they keep themselves for the championship. I heard that quite a lot, right? And I'm like, How can you keep them? What
Doesn't work
what
like
gaffer's
that.
in a change room full of players or a director? Boys, championship in October.
We'll rest you today.
We'll just take it easy
Competition
today.
in
Like
7 months.
how do you fucking take it easy for the championship? Because we all know, even if you're like, do you know what? Let's do it. It's a long year. As soon as you go 1-0 down or someone pisses you off in that game, you're like, fuck this.
Bets off. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's not the way it
I
works.
actually think, regardless of like when it is, as a
100%,
looking
mate.
at it as a
nonsense.
football player, you're never going to go into a game and be like, oh, let's just chill today. Do you know what I mean?
No,
like,
exactly
it's
right.
not
It's
in
not
your
possible.
makeup.
Yeah.
But I think it kind of sets not a precedent, but it shows what football can be and what it could be in terms of this championship now. Because
I would love it if it was like, but I don't think every team's got that support. That's it. I think you get massive. Obviously, Preston Lions are notoriously well supported.
Yeah.
South Melbourne obviously got a big.
Yeah.
So I think they two are the biggest supported teams in the.
You watch South Melbourne versus Sydney United.
Oh, yeah.
That will be huge.
That belter,
That will be
aye. But then
incredible.
if you watch South Melbourne versus, I don't know who else is in that.
Wolves.
Wolves might be. I think they need a couple. I think after a couple of years they might get a good fan base, but initially there won't be a ton of people there.
They still get a fair few people come to the games, Wolves. I know
Wolves.
they have their little supporters there.
Oh mate,
Always have-
we played Wolves away. The corner says the Wolf Den. There was like 3 guys with some VBs.
Wolfpack.
That is, there's 3 people here. I'm like, that is a Wolfpack for a hangover. pretty much.
But I think, as I said, it's potentially quite exciting. I think watching it.
Oh,
in
amazing,
terms of-
brilliant.
Yeah.
Because if you
Yeah.
look at that in comparison
more than
to
some
the
A-League
A-League
games.
clubs,
Yeah.
Definitely.
like it was probably
Absolutely.
the best supported game of the weekend. And it didn't look good. And
Oh,
what
brilliant,
about
man.
the Panenka but to
Oh,
just
right,
walk
balls.
Ballsy.
willing to do it, man.
way.
Ballsy, great
I
pen.
would be
so-
absolutely furious
That's why I
if I
think
was
when
in
soccer
goal.
was best in this country is when you had the ethnic clubs.
Oh, you need it.
100%.
Like that was when you're producing all the Socceroos. That's, you know,
They hit me. I know it
they
sounds-
went away from that, and I feel it's sort of declined since then.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't here during that sort of main period, but coming from Europe, and it sounds bad, but there's a hatred in there on game day, and I say that back, like, as in like, oh, it's the Greeks versus Italians. There's no malice in it, but on that day, there's a bit of rivalry there.
Yeah,
there's something
yeah,
else to it,
yeah.
and then obviously the fans feel the same way, and like every team in Europe has that, whether it be a local rivalry, whether it be a national rivalry or a Champions League game, same sort of thing. As soon as you've got that extra thing to feel it, the fans come in droves. They've got more media attention. The players have got that wee bit. Takes one big bad tackle, one yellow card, and everyone's off their seat, and it's everything's better.
Yeah.
Really, I think that's why A-League, like you said, it became very much just vanilla, just sort of
Yeah. Yeah.
too many teams, similar locations. But without that tie to a club,
You got team players jumping from team to team to team
Aye.
to team, so it's not really like I'm from Sydney, I'm playing for Sydney FC, and this
Yep.
is my team. Like
Yeah.
some players don't really care.
no, they don't care, and I think that culture aspect leads into that. If you go, I'm Italian, I'm playing with Marconi. I'm buzzing to play Marconi. If it's an A-League club, for instance, an Italian A-League club, and it was all about that, you'd feel that more attachment to them.
100%.
The A-League club is not a top. Like, see, you play with Western United or MacArthur, like you didn't grow up
Yeah,
supporting them.
yeah.
They're a new team. It's very difficult, and it's not the club's fault. It's just Australian football is almost still sort of in its infancy
new,
in
yeah.
that sort of way.
Yeah.
But you've the new form of Australian football is in its infancy, but the old stuff, it's still alive. I mean, you've got it in NPL.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you bring the NPL to the forefront? Obviously, the Australian Championship's the first step in that, but it'd be fucking amazing if this Australian Championship it takes off, but in a way where it feeds off that
Yeah, because I think
cultural aspect.
looking at that game, it's the first time in a long time that you've seen snippets of a football match in Australia and thought, fuck, I'd have liked to have been there.
Oh, I've been brilliant.
Do you know
aye.
what I mean? And I think
Brilliant.
that's what you need is that. If you see things and you want to be involved, then people will start going, if it's going to be something like it.
Yeah, again, if you watch, but say Preston, don't know who they're playing this weekend, Dandenong Thunder or something like that, don't know how well they're supported, but let's say they're not supported very well. It fizzles out very quickly again because you get the Preston Lions fans, or say it's at Dandenong, there's 100 people watching it again. It's just
you
like,
can't
oh,
have like 3 big games a year.
Aye.
it turns
But
out
then
to.
if you look at the size of the clubs that are in the championship, like Apia will get some support. Sydney United, you
it's
saw
just,
when
it's just
they-
travelling, but I'm just thinking
I
about
know.
if it's home or away or whatever it might be.
but
You might
Syd-
get it.
Sydney United, obviously, when they went to the
They'll get
Australia
supported well.
Cup final,
Yeah.
will be
You
well
still have big,
supported.
like, Croatian fan bases.
100%.
Oh, yeah,
and stuff
100%,
that,
mate.
So you're hopeful that then, when it does become,
But I've
it
heard a
brings
rumour.
that back.
I've heard a rumour that I can't for Victorian clubs. Can't speak about NPL that some in New South Wales. Sorry, that some of the clubs are going to play the younger lads in the Championship, under 23s.
Right, okay.
Heard that from a fairly decent source.
What's the source?
Can I tell you? It's decent, but aye. So I heard that. No, I'm not saying that's happening, but there's a conversation of like, is that the route they go down? So
Because you have to think as well, like let's say myself, if I was to play this season, go straight into another 10 weeks,
Yeah.
and then what are they going to have 4 weeks off?
4
and
weeks
they're
off
back
and
in
go again.
pre-season?
A
your wife
full-time
will be
job.
buzzing, man.
You know, maybe understand if they're going to bring some youngsters through, but
It
I
makes
still
sense,
think because they're going to be on the national stage, I still think they're going to
It's a great
play all
opportunity.
the cards.
Yeah.
I was saying this to Chaz just yesterday. I was like, this is
exciting.
this is a year of like something. I know it's not the official way they want it to run, but we're part of the year where things could potentially change forever in Australian football. And how good it's going to be, we don't know. There'll be negativity as always in Australian football.
I think
But if you get
that's the biggest thing for me is that, see, we've spoke about it before, is that like NRL fans support everything NRL, whereas when it comes to football, it's like very divided and
gatekeepers.
very,
Aye.
and it's just something that it's an opportunity to make the game better across the whole landscape. So
amazing,
it's just so important that everyone kind of buys in and tries to support it in the best way they can.
Yeah, you can appreciate they're trying to make it
100%.
happen.
Exactly.
Going to be
Whether or not it's
perfect.
the right way, at least
100%.
well, everyone always says, "Oh, it's fucking this is crap." I'm like, okay, well, what do you recommend?
What's the alternative?
Yeah.
Oh man, don't know. They should fucking blah blah blah. And it's like that's not a solution, mate. You're just rabbiting a lot of nonsense. That's what I'd love. Just imagine waking up on Sunday morning, like, oh, I'm going to watch the Sydney United South Melbourne game today.
Yeah.
There's going to be 3,000-4,000 people
yeah,
there. I could take the kid. Like I've got a son. I'll take this wee man and go and watch it. You might go and get a wee bit of food and blah blah blah. But what's up?
You're not taking the wee man to Sydney United.
No, I'll be in the south. Oh, my missus is Serbian. My family's Serbian. I'll be in there we end. But I'd go to these games. I would rather go to those games. When me and Chaz first got here, we lived together. And I'm like, mate, let's pick an A-League club and we'll try and get into the A-League and try and support it properly. And when that time we went to Sydney FC, didn't we? So we're in the house watching it, and we got like 15 minutes into the game. I'm like, this is fucking tough to watch this, man. And then we'll stick with it because we didn't grow up with Sydney FC. We'd just arrived in the country, so it was very hard to like really care that much if they lost, if we didn't know the players. Got to like 60th minute, and it was just balls out the park. There wasn't a lot of people at the game. Man, this is like me watching amateur football back home, not standard wise, obviously, but there's no one in the game really.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the players. What's the point in this? And we tried 4 or 5 times, but just couldn't get into it. But because we're in NPL, I know all the players.
Yeah.
Like I can buy into the whole, oh, they're Italian, they're Greek. I buzz off that.
Yeah.
There's a real passion there. I'd get well behind that. It'd be amazing. But here, I it's a wee bit sad having a son here, and I think I probably wouldn't take him to A-League games, like because I don't enjoy it personally. There's not a lot of atmosphere. Whereas if I was back home, I would take him to every single football match because it's a day out.
Yeah.
You're taking them to...
It's an experience.
Around the stadium and it's buzzing and there's sing-songs before the game and blah, blah, blah. But here, unless you can get that... I really hope they call it the B-League for now, but if that can get some aspect of a promotion relegation... But I've seen this Oceanic League. You seen this?
No.
There's did you see this? Oceanic League, like there's apparently 4 Australian teams have applied to be in it. Obviously A-League teams it'll be. Okay. So I think they're going to have like so many for New Zealand, so many for X, Y, Z, and I don't know the rules around it, but they're going to try and create this new Oceanic League with so many teams in 2027, I think it is.
The difficulty here is always the distance, do you know what I mean? Like,
I took around 47 to get to Manly, I mean.
But if you look at the landscape, and it's bad enough going, say, Sydney to Perth or to Adelaide, like that's bad enough as a journey. But when you start having like every other week is in, I don't know if you say Japan or whatever.
Oh mate, you can get to Fiji quicker than Perth.
Yeah, see, that's bizarre.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. So
I think the A-League's only got itself to blame though, because I remember like back in the day, the fans. So let's say Wanderers' first year, they brought the fans. Like that, every home game for them was incredible. And then Sydney FC had their fans, Melbourne Victory, and then they sort of like shut or like restricted the active support.
Yeah.
And then the numbers dropped off. And then obviously money's dropping off, and then don't get the big players, and then it just sort of dwindled down.
It's quite sad.
Yeah.
Because the A-League isn't run by Football Australia anymore. Is that correct?
I wouldn't have a clue.
You're asking the wrong guy,
That is
mate.
correct, right? So it's run by, so it was bought or whatever, the rights to it were bought by an outside company. But then COVID came. So like now something that was potentially going to be fruitful for them has become, let's say, a hindrance.
Yeah.
So now it's not actually being supported by the governing body. So that is another dynamic that in terms of funding and money going into the game, it's not Football Australia's thing anymore. So it's like there's even less and less money. Then you look at TV deals and there's no money going in from TV, and you look at it in comparison to other sports that are obviously getting huge influxes of cash to support it and big TV deals. It's just in a bad place. So hopefully,
And
this
so they
is
just
the
get the
thing.
youngsters who they can give minimum
Aye.
salary to, and then the competition, you know, is full of youngsters, and I think that's where they're struggling.
And I think that the point to that would be like, okay, that might work in theory if you're then getting all these boys coming through who are brilliant in Australian football, national team are thriving, and there's all these boys all overseas. And there is some still overseas, but the debate's going to be there that the generations 20 years ago were much better.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have the QOs and the Vidukas, the golden generation. So that's obviously an issue as well. So something obviously isn't working. Well beyond mathematical knowledge, and there's financial aspects and political aspects and all sorts going on. But from a footballing aspect, all I would love is just to be like, weekend, good atmosphere. Like you said, restrict others, loads of support. Let's restrict that. All right, decent. That guy's got a flare, ban him. Oh, decent. Like, making too much noise, quieting that down. All right, okay, no worries. Like, fuck's sake.
Just sit there, watch the game.
I mean, that's what football's all about. Because if you're not a fan, if you're not a player, you're a fan. You want to go for because the football. At the end of the day, the football's not that great. Like everyone knows that. Like if you're watching amateur football, semi-pro football, there's good players, but it's at the end of the day, it's not professional.
But them seasons, people were coming to just be a part of the crowd.
That's what I mean.
That's
aye.
it. This experience, enjoy the experience.
Exactly.
100%.
And with social media now, people want to be taking videos of themselves in the crowd, bouncing around with a flare or whatever it might be. Or there's people, or the food people go around. Oh, I'm at the Sydney FC ground and I've got this fucking chivapi and that, like all these wee pockets and niches and content creators all pop up. That brings more attention to it. So, look, I think it's not been great to this point, but I think that's a nice insight to potentially how it can go. Maybe that was probably the platform of like, okay, this is the
Aye, let's get together. Let's do it, man.
I hope it can happen in New South Wales as well, because at the moment, Sydney United, who would be the teams that get the best? So if, like, say Preston plays South Melbourne, and that was obviously 9,000. We're not going to get that in New South Wales, but who would be the two teams to play to get the biggest crowd together? Sydney United versus somebody probably.
I'd say so.
Rockdale.
Yeah, Rockdale
Marconi?
United's a big game. Marconi, yeah.
Think Marconi would get that many?
Don't know.
They could.
I would say Rockdale, Sydney United if I had to say two, but Rockdale aren't, or they could. It's the highest placed team this year goes to the championship, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You should go to the championship.
So could you?
Too easy, mate.
I think it's more the financial aspect of those teams having to pay the players extra money and that sort of stuff.
of course.
I don't know if Blacktown would be one of those.
Then the travel costs as well, like it all.
Oh, there's a lot of factors.
If it's not covered, it's going to add a big bill to the club.
I know, and then what's the benefit? I mean, what do you
exactly,
get out of it at
yeah.
the end of the day? And that's maybe when you go to 23s, you can pay them less. They've got an ambition to, like, on a national stage.
Yeah.
I don't know, exciting times, but it's good. It's good. Hopefully, it all works out. And if it doesn't work out, they can figure something else out around the same idea.
So, quick run through the rest of the results in Melbourne. Melbourne Knights won 3-0 at home to Port Melbourne. Melbourne Victory lost 3-0 to Oakley Cannons. Dandenong Thunder beat Heidelberg United 3-2. Hume City beat Altona Magic 2-0. And Green Gully lost 5-0 at home to Dandenong City.
Who's top?
Avondale.
Still
1-5
top.
from 5, yeah.
Not bad.
So then, moving on, NPL 2. Match of the round this week, so Northern Tigers obviously were flying. Blacktown City.
They battered, didn't they?
Blacktown City beat them 2-1.
Oh, it was only 2-1.
It was
I thought
2-1,
lost.
aye.
Do you boys know much about NPL 2?
A little bit.
Yeah.
The bit of a surprise, obviously, some of us called it last week on the predictions.
Called what?
Blacktown City
Oh, did you?
Tigers, aye.
Fair play, aye.
And then we played Hakoah at the weekend. We beat them 4-0. They were not very good in comparison to last year. They were a lot better last year, I felt.
Have they changed much players?
Nah,
No?
interesting.
Same gaffer?
Same gaffer. Pretty much the same team.
You're in goals, but
Obviously.
fair play.
I've never done it.
Oh, really?
They hit the bar, and then I made one save in the whole game.
It's shot off target. So
Exactly. Right. It was going to go under the bar of the save. So I come to win for us. Kevy scored another 2 goals. It's class from him. ST Raiders, perfect start still. Beat Hills United 1-0.
Are they won every game?
Yeah.
Oh, good on them, brilliant.
Dulwich Hill lost 2-0 at home to Newcastle Jets. Bonnyrigg beat Macarthur Rams 2-1. I think Bonnyrigg were 1-0 down, 1 each. Then they got a player sent off, and then they scored the winner.
Brilliant.
They won it, wow.
Player sent off in the 85th minute and scored the winner in the 90th. Bulls beat Inter Lions 3-2. It's a good result. Spartans beat Geno's Berries 2-0. And Rowdomere Lions drew 1 each with Mounties. That's Mounties 2 points. They changed their gaffer and then get 2 points.
Who's the new gaffer?
Brett Hewitt. He was the assistant at Berries, but he's been about the kind of NPL scene for a good while. So good start for him, considering they hadn't had any points in their first 3 games. And we'll run through the NPL 3 scores quickly. Hawkesbury beat Sydney Uni 2-1.
Sydney Uni, man. Every week.
Gladesville lost 1-0 at home to Dunbar. Parramatta beat Bankstown United 2-1.
But doing all right, Parramatta.
Yeah, they are. They're sitting top.
Got a good team. They got a good squad.
Good, that's decent, eh?
They're sitting top. Nepean lost 4-2 to Hurstville Zagreb. They must have heard you saying that last week. Since we spoke about them, they hadn't won any
So
games.
Hurstville won?
Hurstville won 4-2. Camden lost 2-1 at home to Granville Rage. Prospect beat Fraser Park 2-0, and Stanmore Hawks beat Central Coast United 2-0. They've also sacked their
Fraser Park, by the way.
their coach resigned at Stanmore.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Jim Patikas, I'm sure his name was.
He is.
So he's resigned. And a little shout out to everyone at Hawkesbury. One of the guys who was heavily involved at the club for 15 years passed away quite suddenly last week. Dennis Pavlovich. So
we're good mates with Berto, the coach there.
Yeah.
We verse them in the pre-season every year, and they're very welcoming.
yeah,
They're a good club.
shout out to everyone.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Obviously a
Sorry
sad
to hear
time for them. So that's all our NPL results from the weekend. Now, what we're here for, boys?
Just quickly, just mention Lightweight Athletic.
Oh yeah.
Lightweight Athletic, as always, 15% discount using the code CFS at lightweightathletic.com. Just click the link below. Chaz, sorry mate, on you go.
Nah, it's over to these two. They're going to take the show. They're going to carry it. Joe, start with yourself, Mr. Mallia. Tell us a bit about your footballing experiences, starting from the beginning, please.
Yeah, okay. So I started at Fairfield Pats for a few years when I was a youngster.
So you're from around this way?
Yeah. So at that time I was living in Smithfield, and then from there went to AC United.
Right.
It was a big following back then. I brought to club. It was like the own
AC
United. We played at where is it? Just the Powhaddon Reserve, like not too far from Sydney United. Put it that way. Not too far from Sydney United. But we had a field that was had box goals, and like back then it was the only field that had box goals. So it was a big Italian club. But and then from there, so back then there was a thing called Cadet League.
Right.
All the oldies would know what that is. So
How old are you,
that
Mitch?
was AC United. I'm 33 in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then it changed to the Metro League. So living around here, I had to play for you had to play for your local area. So when I moved to Macarthur, I played for Macarthur Rams, and around here was Southern Districts. And then from there I went to Marconi at 14. So it's pretty much Marconi 14s, 15s, 18s, 20s, 20s, first grade. So I played there for 7-8 years in a row.
So who's your coach? Like your main? Did you have like a coach who sort of seen you most of the way through that, or was it always changing?
No, all different. So I had Darren Ioka, who Robbie gave a nice mention to the other day.
Right.
Yeah, so my story is a bit different with him. He sort of gave me the chance as a youngster. So I remember I just turned 16. I just got my license, and we're versing Bankstown, and I was like, I know how to get to Bankstown. I know the way. So don't worry, Dad, I got this. Driving myself. I've ended up at Bankstown Airport. All right, so I've ended up nowhere near the field, Jensen Park, and so I've called the coach. I'm like, mate, I'm at the airport. I don't know how to get to the field. So he helped me get to the field, and I think I got there at half time, and he still put me on.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and then from there I got my debut with Lee Sterry. I think Robbie's talking about him as well. So my first game at first grade, I was 16, and it ended in an all-in brawl against Bankstown City. So this is not the same game, obviously, but Sekenis was there as well, and our striker ran through. Their keeper's come out 2-foot him in the stomach. Yeah, red card, all in brawl. I'm 16. I'm just like.
This is your first game.
First game.
Oh.
Just pre-season game. Pre-season game, and I was like, just step back and you got this, guys. Like, I'll just wait over here. Game got caught off. So in my debut, I played 2.5 minutes, and game got.
Go home, your mum and dad. How was that? Oh,
Yeah. So, in that season, I played the rest in the 20s, and then the following season, I went to Mariners in the youth league. So this was when like you'd follow the A-League club and you'd play before the A-League team.
Yeah.
Which I think that was massive. You know, you, as a youngster, you're getting the dribs and drabs of the crowd who are there early, and you're playing before the big boys. And then back to Marconi with Lee Sterry. And yeah.
So, sorry, when did you go Central Coast? How old were you?
I was 17.
Okay, and how long were you there for?
So that was played in the summer. So it was like you'd go summer youth league, and then I came back to Marconi thinking I'm just going to come back and play 20s, but he sort of put me straight into the first team as a youngster. We had like Giorgio Speranza was in the team, Jared Lum was in the team. He called us the time zone kids because we were that young. We weren't even allowed in the main change room. Yeah. So, but yeah, we pretty much played like every game that season. It was incredible. He's the first coach. Like he had these sayings and these calls that it'd baffle you. I remember one of my games, like he's called me a wombat on the field. He's like, this, that, you wombat. And I'm on the field, I'm like, you just call me a wombat? Like, I don't even know what that means. Like, how do I take that?
Is that possible?
Like, yeah, exactly.
I can't like, thanks, coach.
Yeah, no worries, thanks. And then I remember legendary halftime, pre-game talk, we're versing Berries away. He's like, Mitch, you're playing left wing. He's like, you're not playing there because of form. He's like, you're playing there because I got no one else to put there. Literally.
Wasn't me.
Yeah. Needless to say, down 1-0. I come off at half time. We won 2-1. So reverse impact player. But no, he was the one that sort of gave me my shot as a youngster. He just gave me the full confidence. And for me, that was one of the biggest years of my career. From then, I went back to Central Coast. And then came back to Sydney, back to Marconi, and had a new coach then, Luke Castley. So, played the first few games.
Oh, you're laughing
with him.
Oh, he's his best mate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and okay. I was after a while. He didn't, wasn't too fond of me, so I wasn't playing much, and then. At the end of the season, getting board members like, oh, like the coach is getting rid of you, this, that. And I'm like 18, 19. I'm like, oh, thanks. Anyway, so after that, went to Sydney FC, had a good year in the youth, and then I was getting messages saying, oh, I want you to come back and stuff like that. And I was like, man, you binned me for the whole second half of the season. Like a typical coach doesn't want you. You play for 20s, train for 20s. That's like, just like one of them situations. So, I was pretty happy to. So,
but what do you think caused that? Was there anything you done in particular, or was it just one of those things?
Okay, so
there's always a story. Here we go.
It's like there's two ways to look at it. So, there was a player in the team, right? Andrew Mailer, and for some reason at training, he'd just try and crunch me every tackle. Now I was 18. I think he was maybe like 27, 20, or something like that, right? And so every day I'm like, I'm talking like studs up to the knees, like bad challenges. And one time in the session, I remember it got me in, that bone just there below your knee. I had stud marks across that in training. And I was like, man, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, toughen up, princess, right? Anyway, so at this time, I just started MMA training. Okay. So 18 years old, just sort of, entering that world. USC was just taking off. So next time he's got the ball, I've just ran to him, and then he's arched up to me, and I've sort of like, better words, hit him with a bit of a 3-piece feed, right? Not condoning it, right, or anything, but I had to stand up for myself. I'm like, this guy's going to break my legs. And anyway, so got sent to the change room, and pretty much after that, didn't play again.
Oh, really?
Twice, because it turns out they were best mates.
So basically, he tried to do you, and you're like, do you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah, literally exactly like
play,
that. Yeah, exactly like that. And he sort of didn't do it again after that.
Of course he didn't.
Yeah. I was like, never been in a fight before, and I was just like,
So you want to know? Brilliant.
Yeah, that's it, retiring there. Yeah. That's about as sort of dangerous as I got.
But at that point, that's a bit. I understand, like from a club perspective, if you've cracked the guy or whatever, and they're like, oh, we need to sort of stamp that out. But it should at least be like, what caused you to react like that? And if you went like, well, we've been trying to break my legs for 4 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm young boy, he's 27. Like,
no, like I said, and it turns out they were best mates. Like they played together at teams. So I was just sort of like pushed to the side, and
Aye.
that guy still just played every game. So I was happy to get a goal on their relegation farewell game.
I feel like it's something more to this.
Yeah.
You keep laughing.
Yeah, because we versed them the last game of the season last year to relegate them if we win.
Oh, that was it. That was what Robbie sent me.
Mitchie scored.
That
We
was
just
the coach.
ran
That
straight at the
celebration or
coach.
something. I've got an image of that.
So yeah, that celebration started. It was a game against Sydney Olympic, right? And every time I visit Sydney Olympic, there's this one guy in the crowd that just yells out to me all game.
That was me.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Like it's so loud. And it's just one guy anyway. He was yelling out one game, he's like, get a haircut. And like, mind you, like I literally had a haircut that morning. So I'm like,
I've just had one.
yeah. But like
You're
every
wombat.
game, like he'd be yelling out like my family's right there and stuff. Anyway, so I scored the winner in like the 85th minute or something, and I ran to him doing that. Anyway, wife pregnant for the first kid. In the ultrasound, the 3D images, you see like that.
Oh, really?
In the like on the images. So I'm like, all right, that's my celebration.
Ah, brilliant.
that's
So now every time I do it, it's sort of like to my kids do it at the same time. But that game, I ran straight to him and I'm like, adios.
So that was it. So that you done it against Olympic to that fan,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the last game of the season last year, you said.
Yeah.
You done it to him as well?
'Cause that was the
Yeah.
coach. It was the same coach.
But
Yeah.
did he think he knew? Like, did he see you doing it to him?
I ran straight to him. Yeah, I pointed, like I pointed sort of thing.
Hadn't cut your hair in 4 weeks either. Like,
Yeah. But,
Brilliant, man. Oh, that's fair play. I love that. Fair play, man.
Yeah.
That's what I think in football. I know it's going to be spiteful, whatever, but there's so many highs and lows, man. And if you, in a game, say in a one-off game, if someone like tries to do you and you get them back, like if you want to give it out, you better be able to fucking take
of
it.
course. Like you get kicked all the time.
Ah,
you know,
exactly.
But this was different.
Aye,
This was
aye.
like, this is personal. This
He's trying
guy's
to
like
hurt me.
trying to
Aye.
hurt me sort of thing.
Aye.
So I was like, yeah. But after that, so after that year, I went to Sydney FC youth team.
Yep.
Had a good year and then ended up signing for the first team. So I think I was there for 2.5 years. That was a good time in my career, sort of getting caps in the A-League, coming on, and then pretty much went downhill from there. Because we signed Del Piero, right?
I mean, fair play.
Yeah, so it's like, it's amazing news. Like, it was huge, right? We've got
You knock him out?
Brent Emerton there. Brent Emerton. So everyone's like all excited, and I was like the guy on longest yard. I'm like, no, I'm never gonna play. Yeah, and so I was like, I wasn't gonna. Like, it was too hard to sort of get a spot in front of him.
It's like I feel bittersweet because you're like, oh, this will be class. Just priming him, but I'm not playing anymore.
Yeah,
Bro.
literally, yeah.
Aye.
It's like they're going to pay me minimum A-League, or they're going to play him who's $2 million sort of thing.
So did you train with Del Piero?
Yeah.
How was that?
That was incredible. He was, when he did train, he didn't train too often.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I think it was like maybe 38, 39.
Was he a joke?
Yeah, it was a freak. He
Was
was
he,
a
eh?
freak. I remember one session, so he'd get frustrated when like you didn't make a run for him or something, rightly so. But we'd tell him, be like, look, like I have no idea what you're going to do. Like you're looking that way, and he'll turn and just go boom, and he'd be like, I was like,
Without
I
you.
didn't expect that. Like, yeah. So I think he ended up very frustrated, but what a like top guy as well.
Oh, he's a good guy, eh?
Yeah. After every session, I'd be like, look, teach me something, and he took the time every session to like.
My
train
finger,
the young
lost my thumb.
boys.
Look.
Yeah. So
That's mad. That's something. That's unbelievable to play with Del Piero.
yeah, I had was Brett Emerton as well. Lucas
Amazing.
Neal, like
I mean, no disrespect, Brent wasn't a great player, but Del Piero was creme de la creme, like fucking phenomenal. So how long was he at Sydney FC? A year?
2 years.
2 years, well.
2 years,
Mate, my
yeah.
first day in Sydney, I was living in Bondi Junction. I went to the Coles there, and I've just walked in one of the aisles, and I just looked in. I'm like, that guy looks spitting out of Del Piero. Fine, blah. Went home, sat in the apartment, and my mate was in the Leon. I'm like, guy in there spitting image of Del Piero, and he's like, probably was. I was sort of laughing. I didn't know Del Piero was even in Sydney.
Really?
And I'm like, online, like, he's signed for Sydney FC. I'm like, you're joking me, man. I've just walked right past Del Piero, man. That was
Yeah, he had that aura. Like
Aye.
for the first month, every time he'd pass the ball to me, like I got the ball on my knees. Like,
Sorry.
The guy called me Mitcha for the first like
Really?
2 months. I was too nervous
correct
to
him?
say that's not my full name. Like, yeah, he was something special. But
So is there anything that you do now you go, Del Piero taught me that?
a bit in my free kick technique.
Yep.
He taught me a little bit there.
To be fair, that is one, no, it's blow
players,
smoke up your arse. The technique is for striking
A
the ball
joke.
was very good.
There was
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
one
yeah, so-
one last year That
Oh,
was
aye,
an
top corner one.
absolute shambles.
The free kick.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
Yeah.
Like we came in here and we were literally talking about it for about 10 minutes. The way the balls moved, it's fucking up, down,
You say
left.
keeper should have saved
it. Keeper should have saved the shit.
Yeah. Session.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Do you stay back after training, work on free kicks? Or you just...
No, I'll stay back. But a lot of time, like as everyone's going for a drink, I'll just get a few balls and
Put it top corner?
I'll try anyway. So yeah, he's sort of like, I took a bit from what he showed me and sort of adapted my own little technique for it. But,
Not bad, but innit?
yeah.
Del Piero showed my free kick technique.
But if you if you watch him take free kicks after training, he'd take 10 right foot, 10 left foot, and
All
he would
belters.
score like 8 out of 10.
wow.
It was disgusting.
I was like, have you seen that video of Zola teaching the youth on
Yeah,
YouTube?
yeah,
Same
yeah,
thing, just
similar,
ridiculous. Just
yeah.
like technique, top corner. You're like, fuck off.
Yeah. That,
joke,
like,
man.
Incredible.
We'd literally sit down and just watch him take against Vedran, and it was just like goal. And then he's like, all right, left foot. And he's scoring like outside of the box, top corner of his left foot.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. This is levels,
Levels,
innit?
man.
Yeah,
It's levels.
it was crazy. But like I said, that sort of like he left at the same time I left. So it was like I didn't. Yeah.
Well, did he retire after that? Or did he go somewhere else?
No, he went to, I think, maybe India.
Oh,
I think
okay.
It was India,
Yeah, I
something
think
like
it
that. Yeah. So from there, I went to Blacktown. Came to Blacktown 2014. And yeah, like had some good success. I think we did 3 grand finals in a row, 14, 15, 16
Yeah. Yep.
with Credo. And then went to Marconi for a few years and back to Blacktown. And then retired for a year and then came back to Blacktown.
There was a Perth Glory loan spell in there.
Sorry, yeah, 2017.
Yeah.
3 months in Perth.
How did that
I try
come
to
about?
forget that.
Wikipedia
That's
or
why.
something.
I was not a good time.
Yeah. Look, it was. I think a lot of youngsters go through the same thing, right? So, we played Wanderers in FFA Cup, and I played pretty well. And so the next day, I had a call from Melbourne City and Perth Glory. Okay, Melbourne City, I was like that's huge, you know, like what a club. I think they just had like the partnership with Manchester City at that time, and anyway, so like 10 calls later, these guys just don't call me back. So I was like, oh, no worries. And then Perth called me and he's like, no, like we want you to come now. Like you'll be on the bench on the weekend. And I was like, man, like move to Perth or like Melbourne. So yeah, never end up hearing back from Melbourne Cities. Maybe they'll call one day. But yeah, so went to Perth and the meeting was sort of like, we've seen how you played. Like we don't want to change how you play. Like, you know, we love it. That's what we want you to bring here. So on the Thursday, I flew to Perth, and then I think like the day after 2 days after, we versed the Newcastle Jets. So I've gone to Perth, back to Sydney, drive up to Newcastle.
Oh my God.
Right, and he's telling me, he's like, you're starting. I was like, all right. He's like, I'm like, I don't know any of my teammates' names. Like I've literally like, and I'm motion sick from all the traveling. And anyway, so I started the game. I did nothing amazing. Didn't play bad. Got hooked at half time. And Kenny Lowe is a character. I don't know if you've ever watched him in A League. Like he would just scream the whole time, right? But he did this thing where you're playing and he'd just go, Mitch. And I'd be like, what? And I'm playing and he'd go, Mitch. And I'm like, this guy is not giving any instructions. He's just yelling my name out. Yeah, I'm telling. Anyway, so
Imagine you shouting it, it's like, Mitch!
yeah, just show me. And I'm like hearing things, and like he'd just be there, like anyway, yeah. And like I said, like guys get the ball, and I'm like, man, I don't know this guy's name. So I'm waiting until he turns around, look on the back of his jersey, like I literally, yeah. So I was like, man,
So
like,
what was
at
the
least-
point that did he ever... Did he rip everyone or just you?
What do you mean?
Did he shout everyone's name like randomly or just you?
Well, so I was on his side of the wing.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so I was an easy target, but. Like, yeah, like I said, other boys getting the ball, and I'm like, man, I don't know your names. Or like, I've literally not even had a session with them. I've gone straight in. I was like, man, bring me off the bench, like, you know. But anyway, so then I missed the next few weeks, and then ended up coming in, did okay, got an assist and a goal, and ended up just hating it. It was one game against Melbourne Victory. We were down 2-0, and then I came on. And, you know, I'd taken my player on. I had a couple of shots. I was doing good. I remember the commentators were like, you know, he's made a difference, this, that. I'm like, that's it. Like, next week, I mean, video session was all about, like, how I didn't track back and how I did this, how I did
killed
that.
you.
I was like, man, like, we're down 2-0. Like, you know, I'm trying to score. And then, yeah, after that, it was like probably another 2 weeks left on the contract. And I literally booked my ticket home already. I'm like, I'm not staying here. And then had the meeting with him. He's like, look, you know, we're letting you go. And I'm like, I'll be straight up. I'm like, when I come here, you said that you're going to let me play how you see me play, how I like to play. And I'm like, all you've done is like just change how I play. Like I'm just get the ball pass, run back, you know. And I said, if I'm honest, I said I booked my ticket home 2 weeks ago. I'm like, so you could have offered me $1 million. I'm like, I'll
Probably just stayed.
Yeah. But and like I know a lot of young kids go through that same thing. They get there and it's like you either have to just score 5 goals a game, or they just bin you straight away.
Yeah.
Like, you know, young kids go in at 21, 22, you know, even up to like 25, and they get spat out. And it's like, man, you look at like the quality in the NPL when they're like 27, 28, 29. Tell me these boys wouldn't be killing in the A-League.
Yeah,
at
still at
that
the time.
age. Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
100%.
After that, came back to Blacktown, and it was just like, man, like I enjoy my football here. I'm happy. Like, much better coach here in Crito, and
balance your family life as well.
yeah, exactly right. And you know the scrutiny of playing on your TV and all that stuff.
Oh, mate, what the biggest thing there was to me was just imagine signing for a club 4 hours away and being like, we're actually playing our next game in 48 hours where you just came from.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd be like, you taking the piss, mate.
Yeah.
Like,
Just phone and say, mate, stay where you are.
Yeah.
Come
We'll
back
meet
with
you.
us.
Yeah.
And playing.
100%.
That's a shambles, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my story. But
And obviously
like I said,
Blacktown now.
Blacktown, it's just been the best time
Enjoying
of my
it, good,
life
mate.
sort of thing. Yeah, and then I had a spell at Marconi, which was great too. And
So what happened? Why did you go Marconi back from and leave Marconi?
so pretty much Marconi was my childhood
Yeah, yeah.
team as well.
Yep.
Like I followed them in the NSL. I went to the NSL games, had my birthday parties at Marconi and stuff like that. Yeah. So like Marconi for me is a bit different than what other people see. But you know, I went there, enjoyed my time there, and then at that time there were some different people in charge of Blacktown who I sort of, you know, maybe didn't have the best relationship with. But after a few years there, Crito ended up taking over the whole football department, and for me that was a big selling point to coming back because, you know, obviously I've loved working with Crito, and had Trav come back as well. So yeah, I had a few years there, enjoyed my time, and then just went back to Blacktown pretty much.
Yeah, good. And you had that retirement phase as well.
What was that, sorry?
You stopped for a year. A year?
Yeah. So the year we won it, 2022, I fractured a bone in my foot.
Chasing cows again.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I feel like one stepped on me, to be honest. But, I didn't sort of rest or anything. I'm like, nah, that's it. Like, so throughout the year, I had 6 injections to just kill the pain, and then like even, you know, I'm probably ratting physio out here, but I was like, you tell Crito, I'm like I'm coming for you. Like, don't you dare tell Crito like that. You know, I'm going through this, and sort of just kept going, and ended up winning the grand final that year, and ended up getting scans afterwards, taken to specialists. So straight after the grand final, I'm like, Crito, I've got a broken foot. So I've got a fractured foot. So like, if you're wondering why I've been struggling this last little bit, that's why. Because Crito's a type, like, when you have to tell Crito that you're injured and you don't want to play, it's like the worst thing in the world. Like from your perspective, you're like, man, I'm telling you,
So letting you down.
Yeah, you want to play for him.
Yeah, you want to play for him, and so like it's the hardest thing. And so I'm like, you know, we're coming up to the finals. I'm like, I'm not gonna, you know, bail now. Took the scans to three surgeons who all said I'll need a bone fusion. So
then you played the cup final with a broken foot.
Fractured foot. So like, and it's not like a fracture, like a crack. It's, let's say how they explained it is if like a piece of concrete and you dropped a sledgehammer on it. You know, it's like I don't know how you explain it. Like it's sort of webbed out. Yeah. So I played it with that, and that was like, I was in agony there. And then what happened? I kept doing hamstrings because I'm running different and stuff like that. But went to 3 surgeons who said I need a bone fusion if I keep playing. So like my ankle would have been locked.
Yeah.
And I was like, mate, like I got about to have I had my 3rd kid. I'm like, I'm not trying to be a hero and not being able to play in the backyard with him. So I'm like, no, I'm just going to retire there. And then 6 months later, I'm just doom scrolling on my phone. I seen a morning talk show in America where a doctor is treating this 14-year-old soccer player with the exact same issue. And I'm like, this is the exact issue as me. And turns out he treated her using a thing called stem cell therapy. Yeah. So I'm like, oh God, like
I'm back.
I've made peace with retiring, like, you know, but then it's like, I have to give it a go, right? So tell the missus like, look, whatever you want to do sort of thing. So a week later, I'm in Florida.
Oh, so
In Florida, getting this special treatment. They pretty much had to break through like my pelvis with like a corkscrew, siphoned all the, you know, the juice out and done all their thing and injected it. And then, bone grew back, cartilage grew back, and now it's good as new. I wish I got it injected everywhere else because everywhere else is destroyed now.
That's good, mate. And he feels a bit now. Obviously, a bit of TLC now and then to keep you ticking over. But good, mate. Brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah, so
positive for anyone else. Good.
Yeah.
That's you. Jack?
Oh, mine's a lot simpler than his. Just grew up in Sydney I played a bit everywhere. Spartans, Mount Druitt, Sydney United.
As in like the
Swiss.
12s to 18s, you just sort of bounced around?
Yeah, just everywhere, I actually played, it was like N-Swiss, but it was like called Skillaroos with
I remember that.
Rich was my coach
Yeah.
We were like 14 playing in the 15s, NPL 1. We'd get fucking battered every week. Like it actually wasn't fun at all. And then, when I was like 17, I just finished school and my younger brother had he was playing at Mount Druitt and he had a soccer tournament in Portugal. So I was like, my family just went over for a holiday while he was playing. So playing there, then one of the coaches was like, there's this local team here. Do you want to like come train with them? I was like, yeah, why not? Like I'll train for a couple of days. Why not? And then I was training with them and they're like, do you want to stay and just play for us? I was like, Jesus, like I've got a return flight, everything ready to go. Like asked my parents and like, yeah, like if you want to stay, you can stay and play. So I ended up staying there for like 2.5 years.
Oh, you stayed there for long?
Yeah.
Wow.
Played,
so what level was that you were playing at?
So it was, my first year was the 4th division in Portugal, and then we were champions and promoted to the 3rd division.
How was it?
Nice.
Oh, it was unreal. It was so good. It was the best experience ever. Especially like, it was like a small town just on the water, so it was beautiful. Like it was like a town known for the surfing, so it was really nice. I played with some unbelievable players. Like
anyone who's been on to play?
Yeah, Matheus Nunes plays for Man City.
Not bad.
Like, really good mates with him. Like he was the only kid he's my age, so he was the only kid in the team that could speak English.
Okay.
His stepdad's from England.
Oh, I don't know.
So like I was just, like he was obviously a gun when...
Was he a weapon at that age as well,
Top goal scorer in the league, top assist in the league, playing at like 10. But yeah, he was just my mate, like he was a really good guy.
You still talk to him?
Yeah, I talk to him every day.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You speak Portuguese, don't you?
That's right. I guess you said that before the show.
He's probably the reason why I don't speak Portuguese. But it was good. Like, it was a good experience, and yeah.
So he watches your NPL highlights, does he?
No.
So see, when you obviously made that decision to stay, do you have family or anything there? Or?
No, nothing. So I had so the people that were with Mount Druitt, he was Portuguese and he was living in Portugal as well. So he kind of got Mount Druitt in the tournament there. Yeah. So like he helped me organise like accommodation and stuff like that. But like even the people in the town, like just the restaurant we went to, like every night with my family, like they're like, oh yeah, like I own this like hostel up here, like you can stay there if you want to, like everything like that. So like they were really good. Like the president owned like a cafe and a restaurant, so he'd be like, yeah, just come in here, come and eat dinner whenever you want. Like,
oh, so you're well looked after.
Yeah, I was looked after. Yeah,
that's good.
That's class because would have been potentially, as much as it was exciting, quite difficult for you at a young age to be like, fuck, now I'm just living in Portugal.
Yeah, it was a bit tough, but it was by myself most days. But
how old were you then?
I was like 17 till I was like,
that is young,
like 19, 20.
And so how did it come to an end?
I had enough of it by the end of it, like just being by myself, so I just came back to Australia.
So obviously you took a football series at that point. Was there a lot of, like, in the downtime, were you out exploring Portugal, or you just 100% 3 years of just football?
Every morning I would go train with Matheus at the field. Like we had a family that lived at the footy field, and they looked after all the like washing the kits and stuff, and we'd just be like, oh, can we jump on the pitch? They're like, yeah, just go through. Trained in the mornings, relax for the rest of the afternoon, and we'd go train at night with the team.
Oh, class.
Yeah, it's good.
Brilliant. And so you came back when you were 20, roughly?
Yeah, around then. And I came back and I did like the whole pre-season with Sydney United.
Yep.
And then like a couple of days before the transfer window closed, they said that they didn't have enough points to sign me.
Oh man.
I don't know if that's the real reason or that I wasn't good enough, either or. So,
That happens quite a lot, by the way.
yeah.
Not like boys getting released later. And at the same time, from a coach's perspective, there's players shaft clubs sometimes.
Yeah.
Like day before it, I'm actually going to go and sign for them. You're like, well, I've
Yeah,
got no
100%.
chance to sign on anyone else. I think that's poor from both
I think it's
sides.
poor.
Poor.
Yeah, I agree.
Be better mutual respect. I think has to be done there because a lot of like clubs and players sometimes are taking like sometimes I think clubs feel we're giving you a chance playing for us, but also players have often got options. Like, well, I've pied them off to sign for you, so that's the respect. Let's agree that. And I think if you stitch someone up late on, I think it's a small world, especially in Australia. NPL
Yeah.
word,
Well,
word
we
gets
have
out
a-
very quickly.
We have a chat with Crido like late at the end of the year, and you
know.
of agree like a handshake deal. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to be here, and I feel like once that happens, like you can't just
Unless something.
Unless you've got an
bizarre.
A-League deal or...
Yes, I
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
something. Aye.
yeah.
Well, that happened to us with Kyle Shaw, who's at Sydney FC. I was like, sign. I was like, aye, sign. Like unless A-League.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, fair dues. And then
Yeah.
obviously Sydney FC came. It's like fair enough.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
can't really not going to
course.
stop you going to play professional football.
opportunity, 100%.
Oh, that's good.
That's pretty shit though.
Yeah, then the day before the transfer window, I ended up getting Crido's number and gave him a call, and I was like, oh, can I come in? And he's like, yes, come in for a session. If you're good enough, I'll sign you. If you're
So this is
not,
on the transfer window
like
last
the
day.
day before.
Oh,
yeah.
is it? Aye, fair play.
And he's like, oh, yeah, plenty of points. Because I was an overseas player coming back, I was worth like 15 points.
Yeah, yeah.
I was worth more than like an A-League player coming
Yeah.
down. It was ridiculous.
Are the points not changing next year?
I think it is.
No points.
I think they get moved,
zeros get
yeah,
scrapped.
which is good. I think.
I don't really know how it'll affect
It's
it,
like
but
age related now. Like you need 3 players under 21 or something.
Oh, is it?
something
Aye,
like
okay.
that.
I've been with the club for a certain
Yeah,
period of
yeah.
time and
Little stipulations.
yeah, okay,
no overseas goalkeepers.
that's right. Aye,
Really?
that's right. Aye,
Jeez.
that's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Crido signed me that day, so I was lucky enough. He's like, oh, I'll give you a chance. Like I've got nothing to lose.
Yep.
I really appreciated that, and I pretty much played a couple games for first team, but mainly played 20s
Yep.
every week. Like we had a really strong team. Like we had some unbelievable players in the midfield.
You've
which is where I
always
was
been strong,
playing.
but you've been strong for since I've been in Australia, 10 years.
Yeah, we had some good players. So I was playing like 20s every week with like Carlos, De Oliveira. He's at
Oh,
Sydney
yeah,
United,
yeah.
Dylan Niski.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who else? Will March. Everyone like we'd all play 20s every
Okay.
week.
Yep. So they've all come on and
Oh,
have
good.
decent
Yeah.
NPL players.
good
Aye.
team.
Yeah. So yeah, played there. And
Been there
still
since.
now, yeah,
So how old are you now?
26.
Oh, you've been there for a while.
Yeah.
So Crittle's obviously always been your gaffer.
Yeah,
What is
always,
it? Because I mean, fair play. Crichton always gets the best out of the teams. What do you think? What is his best traits as a gaffer? Obviously, the sounds of things you want to play for him, so man management's obviously a part of that.
Yeah.
But is he more tactical? Is he more man management? Does he do the coaching? Like,
I think it's both Critter and the older boys that were in the squad, like just creating the culture and creating that winning environment all the time. Like we'd go into training, we still do now. Like nobody wants to lose. There's always biffs, like because we don't want to lose, and I
Yeah.
think that's the best.
aye. So, but that's just a big part of it, the culture. Do you think?
Yeah,
Aye?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And like Jack said, like if there are any dickheads, they sort of get weeded out by
By
the
the
team.
changing room.
Yeah.
it's
So
good.
Critter doesn't even really have to sort of do anything in that sense. But yeah, like I said, he's a coach you want to play for. You know, he always has faith in his players and stuff. And for me personally, I feel he just like how do I explain it? Like he just sort of let me do. Like he knew how I played the best,
Yep.
and he tried to get the best out of me in that sense, rather than trying to make me fit into what
His
he
system,
wanted. Yeah. And so.
Yeah, a bit of freedom. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. While still, adhering to the main tactics and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. He's a winner, that's for sure. He
He can't not be. He's been
yeah,
in amongst it
yeah.
every single year.
Yeah.
I think it's impressive, man, for being at that club for so. How long has he been there for? Like,
I think he played like 400 games.
2000
Not played coach.
since
Wow.
2011 was it?
so a long time, and he's always
Something
at
like that,
thereabouts to get that consistency out of a team.
Yeah, he's doing something right.
Doing something right, aye, whatever it might be.
Just-
But
see, this is, I'm interested now. Like, see, in terms of you living in Portugal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it is not so much football wise, more as an individual? Do you think it was wonderful for you in terms of growth and
Yeah.
That
Made
side
me
of
mature a lot. Like I didn't really have that period after school when you just sticked about a bit.
aye.
I was like looking after myself, like living by myself, cooking food, making sure everything was like clean and everything, that sort of thing. So
That's massive. That's all.
class,
we,
man.
we went to America right after, pretty much after high school. I was there for 4 years, and like football and that amazing experience and all the rest of all the partying and that amazing. But from in hindsight, meeting all the different cultures, being independent. Like initially it was hard, homesick, but see when you get settled, you think, wow, the amount of stuff you learned just by being involved in a completely out of your comfort zone. You realise how much of a bubble you were in.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing for like when I speak to younger boys now and they have opportunities to go overseas. I'm like, give it a crack. Like the worst that comes out of it is you get unbelievable life experience. You meet some great people, and then that leads to other things down the line.
And you can come back. I think a lot of people are really unsure about taking such big jumps, but the reality is, if you go somewhere and it doesn't work or you don't like it, you can go back.
Exactly. We're always going to be there.
Stuck. Yeah, it's class. That's what I was asking. So is it something that I think is massively important in terms of that growth if you have an opportunity? Like, because you do not got a choice. Like, you need to kind of fend for yourself.
that was good.
Have you ever thought about going, like, after you came back from Portugal and you get settled in Blacktown, did you ever consider going back overseas?
Not really. I just sort of had enough of living by myself, and I wasn't getting paid that much as well. Like just barely enough to live off. So it was only to go overseas. It was if I was earning certain, decent
of
money
course,
and stuff
100%.
like that.
Text Nunes.
Yeah, that's
Sort you out.
he still uses my fucking Netflix.
That's
I
amazing.
swear to God.
That's
I swear to God, he uses my Netflix.
He's taking the piss there, man.
Every
You got
night-
like grand a week.
every night I log on and fucking Portuguese subtitles will come up. I'm like, this
That's brilliant, man.
£4 million a year, and he's using my Netflix.
So, what would you say is your strongest position on the football pitch?
I
Not a
don't
bedroom.
know. I don't know. I don't mind. It depends who you're playing with, I think.
Yeah.
Like, if you're playing with people like Mitchy and Danny and Trav and, like, technical players, I don't mind playing up front because the runs I make, they're going to see the runs I make and play me the ball. Whereas if you're playing in a team that's not as good and you're making runs and you're not
never
getting the ball,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you don't feel involved as much as well, so...
Yeah, because you're looking at returns wise, you've scored 17 goals in 23, 19 and 24.
Yeah.
So what's your obviously, do you have a target for this season or at the start of the year? Do you have a target?
Not really.
No.
I just want to win, I guess.
And how many goals do you think you score if you started as a 9 and played as a 9 every week?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't have a clue.
Well, you said 35 off air.
Yeah, no. I didn't. No, last year, like, I played bit of 9, bit of 10, so
Yeah.
it didn't
You
really
had
matter.
a very good year last year.
Yeah, it
You
didn't
had a fly
really
last year.
matter. I found in which position I played, I still got myself in the box, and that's all you can do. Get yourself
Like
in.
he makes it look so easy. Like he's being humble now. Like the
No,
goals
no,
he
but I
scores,
think
the
he's a good
goals
player,
he
big player.
scores, like it's like he shouldn't have got there, or it's like how do you know to make that run? Like he's got that sort of
just sniffs it out.
killer
It's just
instinct
knowing
to
your
score.
plays as well. Like last year when you play with someone like TJ, like I knew every time he'd go down the line and he'd play near post every time. So that's the run I'm going to make. I'm not going to run somewhere else because I know where he's going to play the ball.
The one thing I found every time I play against you, I feel like you get balls you shouldn't really get to, or you react a wee bit not instinctively, but there's times the ball just bounces, and I think most times strikers will like the defender will just sort of jockey out, but you somehow manage to get fucking onto it, and it's just like
I think
like
it's
a
our
pest.
pitch. Our pitch helps as well because I know how the ball bounces. on
Right,
our
okay.
pitch. Like,
Yep.
in a
So
trial
being
game, like,
humble again. I'm saying,
Ball,
like,
like-
it is the hardest thing to do in the game. To
exactly.
score, and he makes it look so easy. Like he gets the tap ins.
this guy's scoring like how many
But-
forward
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I have to score from 30 meters out because I never get close to the field like he does, like close to the goal. So
Do you still shout Del Piero as you kick it? You go Del Piero.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I said, like he makes it look so easy, and this is why it's frustrating. It's like put him in the A League, he's getting
No, I agree.
20 goals like easily.
Yeah.
Like he is just.
There's a lot of
an
players like that.
A-League
And
type player.
we speak about this
look
quite a
at-
lot.
Yeah, we do.
Look at
Them
what
pure-
other strikers around. Look, Jurasevsky. You look at, I don't know. Obviously, JT and Marconi got to go last year, but he's not really playing. Like, give these guys a go. Let these guys play at that age. Like, do you only want 21-year-olds?
100%. Because
know?
you look at him as well, if you put him in that environment where it is full-time football. Like, this is
Yeah.
all your
Yeah.
concern is for the next 2 years is football, and we're going to make you better. You'll
Well, you
fly.
saw like Gibson, he's doing well at Jets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gives him a chance from the NPL to the A League, and I think it's good for other players in the NPL to know that they have a chance now because of the boys that have gone from NPL to A League and they're doing well. So,
And
maybe
for me,
it
I'd
makes
be
them-
more inclined to watch A League if I'm like, oh,
I
I
know
know
him.
these guys.
Ah,
Look
played
at these.
against
There's
them.
4,
100%.
NPL players in here. Like, I'd support that. I'd
Yep.
feel more, when they're signing, like, good luck to the youngsters and stuff, but you don't really know them. Like a seasoned NPL player.
100%.
Yeah, it's like they sort of, once you've played 5 years in the NPL or something, like it's
you're disregarded.
you're done,
It's actually exactly what we were saying earlier in terms of we're so interested in NPL because we know
Yeah.
players.
Yeah,
and you
exactly,
see this,
yeah.
and I wonder how he got on this week. Like even people that have come on the podcast, like we check Husville scores. Todorowski plays there.
Yeah.
Andy Tomic is at Granville Reid. So every week
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I wonder how he got on. Did he score?
Exactly, yeah.
And it just
yeah.
gives you that extra bit of reason
Yeah.
to watch things, man.
No, we do talk about that. I think at NPL it gets a wee bit. I think there's a lot of players who could be playing higher, especially if you put them in that full-time environment.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and it's a big risk for players to go, I'll just go overseas. There's opportunities there, but like you said, you're going to go over and go, I'm going to go to Turkey and play in the league, but I've got no money, no family. It's a big risk, and look, it's balls that you go and do it, but you might have to uplift like your family, or
Yeah, of course.
it's a big chance when really you're like, well, why can I not play for that club who's round the corner when I'm better than them?
Exactly.
Because
yeah.
I'm not 17.
I just don't think you get a look. I don't think there's enough people, not enough eyes on the NPL. Like, is there A-League people watching NPL games regularly enough to say?
Look, you'd like to think there has to be.
Yeah, look, I know I'm saying
You'd
that
like
for a
to
place of
think so.
ignorance because I don't know
Yeah.
for certain, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of players, and like I've talked from Spirits. There's a few boys in the Spirit team. I think if you put them in a full time environment, there's no way.
Yeah.
They're that fucking
They're
good.
far
They're not.
behind
They're
that,
not. Obviously, there's quite a large chunk aren't, but there's the top portion, 100%. I think 2 or 3, at least, from most of the clubs could be playing.
And then what happens, right? A random kid will get a chance, but then the A-League signs like someone from 4th division in like Bulgaria, and then they're the ones playing.
He's a foreign
the
name
NPL.
and he's from somewhere else. Aye,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then it's like, all right, you got 6 months, nothing. All right, back to the NPL.
Aye.
Like
true.
it's yeah,
Right,
it's frustrating.
quick fire question for you. Best coaches you've played with and why? Or played under, sorry.
Like apart from Credo, because Credo's an easy one.
Look.
Yeah.
Credo's an easy one. Sorry.
Look, Hassler.
No. He's gone to Auckland FC now or something.
Did he go for Auckland?
I think.
They're top of the, not top of the league.
Um,
Auckland are top.
Both,
Yeah, they're top.
yeah,
I think
something
they're
like
top.
that. Yeah. So he's the assistant
Just
coach
like that.
there or something. Yeah. Yeah, well, I know. You get relegated and you go straight up.
Football's wild.
Yeah.
Football's
But,
wild.
whatever. It's nothing personal. Good luck to him. Yeah, has to be Credo.
Credo both,
You know,
yeah.
I've
Credo's like probably been my only
Only proper.
proper
Yeah.
coach for a while. So
What happens at the point where Critter decides I'm going to move on? I've had enough of football or whatever else, man. Like, is there someone waiting in the wings there? Like, I kind of like it'd be funny Blacktown without Critter as a gaffer.
Yeah, you can't. You like to think of Blacktown without Credo. It's
Aye,
yeah, it's
wild.
crazy.
You can't
I've
really
never
do it,
even-
yeah.
Can't imagine him getting like a senior role if that day comes. Like, I'm going to go and step away from being a gaffer. Like,
Yeah.
still be part of the club in some respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be interesting to be a different gaffer.
I think that's
Yeah,
like
Big shoes to fill.
15 years off. Like, guy's got full head of hair. Like, he's yeah.
Hardest players you play against?
Oh, an NPL or
Yeah, in NPL.
NPL?
Trifiro.
Oh, tricky.
When I
aye.
played in the midfield, he was.
Ah,
he
he's
couldn't get the
brilliant.
ball.
Yeah,
Nah,
he's
he's class.
He couldn't get
He's
the ball.
very good.
Oh, that's a good question. So like if I play, like let's say the other day I played up front against RPR, trying to press Timber at the back and just couldn't get near him.
Yeah.
Timber, he's sort of got everything. He's tall, strong, and yeah, you press him and it's like just pass either side. But as a winger, the guy from St George, he used to play left back. What's his name? They're really good. Like we just versed him the other day. Kamada. Yeah, yeah.
Did you stop?
He's just up and down.
Let's not
all
stop.
game. It reminds me like of Giorgio Speranza. You'd verse him, right, and he's behind you. Turn your back. He's back this way, and he's like doing it with a smile on his face. Like he's just not sweating. He's just one of them ones
But mate,
for-
see, honestly, see a
forever.
lot of the Asian players, the energy levels are a
It's a
joke,
joke.
man.
It
We've
is,
got
yeah.
we've always had like 1 or 2 Japanese boys at Spirit, and obviously if I look at the GPS stuff, the amount of distance and high speed running they cover, they don't even look at a breath.
Yeah,
It's
I
wild.
know.
It's wild. They just
Yeah.
keep running and keep running, get to like the 93rd minute, and they're still making the same runs they did in the first minute. And then the whistle will go, and their hands are on their knees, are absolutely exhausted. But you wouldn't know watching
Yeah.
it during the game
Yeah.
that they're exhausted.
Yeah.
Their just energy levels are incredible, man. Incredible.
Robbie Speranza, I give him a mention as well. I haven't really versed him. I've mainly been on his team in recent years, but he's he doesn't back out of a challenge.
Aye,
Like,
he's-
even
He'd
a
smash me every game.
Yeah.
I'd pick me up. Oh, you're all right. You're all right. And they get up,
Yeah.
smash me. Oh, you're all right. You're all right. This guy.
That's funny.
So he's not part of Rockdale squad just now, obviously, is he? So has he left the club officially just now?
I'm not sure he's still part of it.
Yep.
He's still in and around the squad. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
from what Pooch says.
He's a good guy to have around the change.
Yeah.
Ah, he's a good guy. Nice guy. Good laugh.
Last question.
Yeah.
You've only got one movie you could watch. Pressure's on. What would it be?
Ooh, one movie. You go first.
If you're going for a laugh, I like Superbad. Superbad, just
Superbad's
watching
a good
that,
one,
so
man.
good.
Brilliant.
Great movie.
I'm gonna go Wayne's World.
Wayne's World,
If
aye.
anyone-
Excellent.
Yeah.
See, that was a wee joke there.
Yeah. Exactly. So my wife hates when we watch that because I read, like, I say the quotes.
You
the
know
whole
as you go
time
on.
is the movie. Yeah.
And under your breath, I said,
And what would yours be?
one film. Fuck. If we're going comedies,
No, you're picking me.
I can go any film. Oh, fuck it. Honestly, I'm fucking tapping my head. This is a hard question. I'm a big movie. I love movies, man. Watch a lot. I would probably say, fuck, I don't know, mate. I don't know. Let me think. I don't know. I'll say Step Brothers just because I would laugh every single fucking time.
That's funny, aye. Right, predictions, boys. We'll look at next week. So there's 4 games from each league. Obviously, just pick win, lose or draw. Last week was a bit of a disaster.
Okay.
So Gabby got 1 out of
Yeah,
12.
Did I get any?
You got 5.
Did I? Not bad.
I get 5 and Gino got 4. So expecting the standard to go up a
Alright.
bit, boys. Okay.
That's right.
Fucking hard this year, man.
It's hard. First game's a easy one for you. Sutherland at home to Rockdale.
Rockdale.
I'm going to go Rockdale as well.
Yeah.
I think there's an issue. I think I heard. I don't know when the game's getting
Is
played.
it at Valentine, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not sure the game's getting played. Maybe at Valentine, aye.
Oh, they played Olympic at Valentine. Oh,
And
that
it's
was
scudded.
Olympics home
Fuck.
game.
Yeah,
Fine.
Sutherland pitch is getting redone.
Aye. And I think they get to use Sharks Park or something sometimes, but Cronulla's not. I don't know.
Must have been
Basically,
an
not
hour.
getting to
Oh,
use
really?
it.
Oh,
Aye.
mad.
Apart from not getting to use that anyway, so I don't know where they're playing the game.
So I've went the same away. St George FA at home to Manly. Manly are playing away.
FA is what? Base team or Sparkies?
Sparkies
They're playing Manly at St George.
at
Fencehurst.
St George.
I'll go St George. I need to win. Fuck, I need a bit of results soon. Actually, I think they're a decent side.
George as well.
St
They're a
George.
good
Is that
team,
St
yeah.
George Ridges first?
Yeah.
Aye.
Um,
I think Manny's a good gaffer as well. They're quite well
At
organised.
Penhurst?
At Penshurst.
At
aye.
Penshurst, yeah.
yeah, I say St George.
Yeah, it is at St George. I'd say St George as well. So it's 4 homes. Wolves at home to Western Sydney Wanderers.
Wolves.
Wolves comfortably.
Oh, comfortably.
Yeah.
Home.
Yeah, I don't know if Wanderers will do too well away from home.
As well, yeah.
Wolves.
Wolves on their pitch just they always seem to be just that
I know.
bit harder.
And
Just
then
again, it's the travel in it. Travel's a factor.
Yeah, yeah.
Mount Druitt at home to Central Coast Mariners.
I'm going to go Mount Druitt.
I'm going to go Central Coast.
I'm going to go draw.
Oh, I was just gonna say draw. Now it looks like I copied you.
So you're copying it.
Draw. I copied Jack. Yeah.
On to NPL 2, Newcastle Jets at home to Northern Tigers.
What a good game.
Very good game.
I'll go Newcastle. I'll go draw.
Draw.
Cop out.
I'm going to go Jets.
Where's the game?
And
At
Newcastle.
Jets.
Yeah, I'll go Newcastle.
I'm gonna say draw because I don't want either of them to get promoted.
Now, who do you want to get promoted?
Because they're so on MacArthur Rams. They're gonna nice and close.
You've got 1
And then
point
Camden
from 5
Tigers,
games.
I know. Yeah.
MacArthur Rams at home to
That's a fucking
Bankstown
good point,
Berries.
by the way. I've never thought about it 100%. I hope it's a draw as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Jets isn't nice. We went there in round 3 and it's just
Was it the Astro?
horrible.
Yeah,
And it's,
yeah.
it's
Was it
tiny.
Astro they playing?
Aye.
Oh, is it? Aye?
It's just like
Small
all
Astro
like
pitch. Oh, it's
wavy of the field.
horrible.
What, shit Astro?
Ah, it's terrible.
Surprising.
It's like Lake Macquarie Sports Centre or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
But it was shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you know what? I mean, look, I thought they were good. So on a bigger pitch, I think they'd be even better.
They could be good, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Newcastle. All the academy teams are good, mate. They can all play football. They're all well organised. Structure. Can't not be good.
Rams at home to Berries.
Oh, you want Rams to
Mac
win, mate,
Rams,
eh?
let's go.
How are Rams doing this year?
They got 1 point so far.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Berries.
Don't hold your breath, match. I'll go draw.
Draw. I'm going Rams. Berries have struggled the last few weeks, man. They won their first 2 games, I think, and then lost their next 3. Who have you going?
Rams?
Rams.
Yeah.
Rydomere at home to Dully.
We're Rodamere.
Rydomere.
How are Rodamere going?
Yeah, not as
They've
good as you thought.
won their first 2 games out of 5. But they drew.
And Dolly's the same,
in
innit? Dolly's won 2 out of 5, I think.
Yeah.
We've got some in a preseason game. They were
Decent.
decent players. I don't know if they
Pre-season's
got
funny,
up,
but innit?
got up for the game against us or something,
Yeah.
but they They beat us. Like,
Yeah.
that was-
Mate,
Oh, did they?
pre-season,
Yeah.
yeah.
we lose. I think the 4 years I've been at Spirit, I reckon we win like 2 pre-season games every year,
Yeah.
and it's never a reflection on how the season goes. Ever. It's just you've got players missing. Some guys are building up minutes. In the second half, the teams change, and
Yeah.
there's so many factors in it. And then a lot of these NPL 2 teams might play their full strength team because they're playing against an NPL 1 side, and it's I don't know. It's hard to judge it.
Yeah, I see that right. We've got 8 points, I think.
Have they? I'll go Rydymere.
Yeah, right on me too.
No, that's a lie. They've got 5 points.
Oh, I don't know then. Rydymere. I'll go Rydymere.
I'm going to go Dully.
Sitter. That was a Jak O'Brien at the back post there.
Jack would have scored it.
How's at home to Interlines?
Hills. I'll go Hills.
Yeah, I'll go Hills as well.
Okay, Inter.
Oh, I'm going to go Hills. Away, Hills. Now on to NPL 3. Bankstown United at home to Gladesville Ride Magic.
Bankstown United at home to Glasgow Magic. I'll go Bankstown.
I'll go Bankstown as well. They're doing good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bankstown.
Mitch Cross likes to score goals.
Did he score last weekend?
Yeah, scored their goal
He scores
last
all the
week.
time, man.
Sydney Uni at home to Camden Tigers.
Camden Tigers.
Yeah, has to be Camden.
I'm going to go Sydney Uni.
I'll go draw.
Draw. Nepean at home to Parramatta.
Parramatta.
Parramatta for
Man,
sure.
they're flying.
Yeah, Para.
Yeah, I'm going Para as well. And last one, Dunbar Rovers at home to Central Coast United.
I'll go Central Coast United.
You're going away.
I'll go Central Coast.
Yeah, Central Coast too.
I'm going to go Dunbar.
That's when Hazard was an absolute freak.
Oh my gosh.
Boys, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Appreciate
Great
it,
to
lads.
have you.
Appreciate your time.
And good luck at the weekend.
Thank
you.
you.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you.
Who have you got this weekend?
We have Senior
It's
Olympic.
an Olympic.
Big game.
Oh, do you know what? I actually added that in to talk about big games.
Yeah, good episode, man. Bit of banter. Yeah. Thanks for having us. What was that guy's name you said? The gaffer was the one.
Oh, don't you?